And we're live. It is the 29th of May, the year of our Lord, 2024. What's up, Barry?
Not much, Lance. What's up with you?
Well, you're looking at just another day of amazingness.
Oh, great.
Oh, great indeed.
Having problems with my earphones today.
So, what's new with you? How was your last week?
Good for the most part. Yeah, nothing serious happened. It's always good.
No?
And you?
Um, Next to nothing.
Actually, nothing.
Yeah, yeah, not much. Um, we had a big, uh, we had a we had a big get together for my daughter. They had a homework burning party in the backyard.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Must be suburban kid thing. I never heard of a homework burning party.
But I hadn't either.
Yeah. So it's a millennial thing. Yeah.
I don't think it's
Thing.
that so much as just them uh having a good time. Uh but and doing their own thing, if you will. Uh but I don't know, man. Other than that, I think anything else happened recently? No, not really. I whole lot of nothing going on. Whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm trying to get into my shop for a couple of weeks. I just haven't been able to physically. The weather's still jacking me up. Hopefully this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple things I want to do something for the pantry for some the cans. Make something out of that for that. There's a couple
The
there. So
cans,
the cans. I want to make something that organize them,
fair.
and then a couple other things. I got to finish up a couple thresholds, so I can put some doors up. But I just got to get in there and clean it out, so I could do the oiling on on the wood without all that mess. I haven't been in there about a year, probably. Yeah, since Fiji spring last year. The weather. Well, like I said, hopefully this week. I've been fighting the yard all the beginning of the week in between
Oh,
weather.
with what?
Chainsaw and a lawnmower.
How do you cutting your grass with a chainsaw? That seems overkill.
You get bored sometimes, spicing life up.
I don't think you're cutting it.
Just watch your toes. Yeah, I got some trees back there that I've been chopping down, the branches and all that.
What the trees ever do to you?
They were planted there. I actually watched them grow. I've been here long enough to watch them grow to full-size trees.
Like you stayed in one place long enough to like
Yeah, they're right back at me here. I could see them out the window.
you're watching, they're growing right now. You can see them growing
Yes,
right now.
yes. They're saying I'm getting taller. Yeah, but I go back and cut over the overhead shit that'll whack me in the head when I'm mowing and all that. And looking at the yard, I gotta replace some of the fencing in the back here. I seen that yesterday. And Jen's planning on where to put a clothesline.
Excellent.
Yeah. But like I said, the weather's not cooperating. It's it's like we're 2 weeks behind. Usually I'm able to move around a little bit more than this time of year. But it just seems like the rain's hanging on a little longer.
Fair enough. Anthony will be here, but he's gonna be a little late.
Okay. Is Scott feeling well? I haven't talked to him since he got back from spring. I don't know if he got the con crud like he usually does.
No, I haven't heard from him. Actually, I
Well,
have a lot of questions for him. I wanted to I had did you hear the most recent well, not really, it isn't recent, but it was like the real life uh what's the word for it? Like drama that happened to Aldi.
what happened with Audie now?
Well, you know that Wonders of a First Kickstarter?
Hmm.
That whole NFT
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
garbage or
Scam
whatever.
artist. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they came back to Kickstarter, right?
Yeah, I
And
seen that.
yeah, and so then they're just in, they're doing all and more nutball craziness, whatever, having going on. And then but they uh so on the Wonders of the First Discord, like a moderator on their Discord, like there was so she told people on the Discord, hey, if you don't have an account at BGG, go create an account on BGG and rate the game a 10.
Okay.
And they actually said, and I go find the screenshots and what have you and everything like that, but they actually did say something along the lines of uh like make sure you just don't rate it a 10. Like rate it a 10, but also like leave a comment about it, like give it a little mini review in the thing. So you say
Yeah.
something like, oh, I really enjoyed the gameplay of this, and blah blah blah, and this is that, and and just like something along the lines, and instead of just going in 10, to like kind of try to beat the algorithm or whatever. But gave instructions on how to do it. And so then all these accounts just started showing up rating the thing a 10. And then uh somebody reported it and also went to the trouble of like they were in the Discord, or like they must have gotten access to the Discord and took screenshots of the moderator's instructions on how to do it. And
Yeah.
so then they went and they got rid of
So,
them. They were like, yeah, no, you can't come in here and do this, and just started um like banning the accounts that were doing it,
right.
which whatever. And then um they and then and nobody knows for certain how it happened, and it isn't me. It wasn't me, I assure you.
I think it was
But
you.
but
Well,
somehow, and I'm sure it's just you Google or you search or you do what you can, you eventually find out somebody got a hold of Scott's cell phone number
oh,
and
really?
and
No.
started sharing it to the people, and like people started calling him basically saying, "Why have you banned all these accounts?" I mean, I don't know exactly what the things are. I just only imagine what these NFT bros were saying. But somebody banned all of these accounts and this is bullshit. Blah blah. I can just only imagine, right? And so, like, literally, we're like harassing him by calling him over and over. So it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, "Yay, well done." And so yeah, and now like if you do go and you go check out the page, it is a that is a giant shit show and a half if you go
Well,
and take
the
a
whole
look at
thing
it.
sounds
So
like a giant shit show to me.
yeah, I know it
Scam.
is.
But what a world we live in where you think you're entitled to do that, to hunt somebody's cell phone number down and harass them over something stupid like a posting on the internet. But
It's fine. You
it's
can do
fun.
whatever.
I told Scott before there are ways we can handle this. I'm from Philly. I know things.
I I know things.
Speaking, I was watching the news earlier. The fucking jerseys are a mess, man. Like over the holiday weekend, there's a stabbing on one of the boardwalks. The other one went into martial law. Not martial law. They shut it down. What the hell is the term for it? They closed down the whole boardwalk for the night. Civil unrest. They said it was for, but I forget what the term they used for shutting it down. World's a strange fucking place, man. Can't have anybody together. Can't do anything fun. It's only got to piss over your Cheerios.
Yeah. Um, a buddy of mine, I woke up this morning and a buddy of mine, like he had texted me and he said, hey, do you have I know it's a little bit of sports talk, but it's nothing serious. Timberwolves forced to game five. A buddy of mine had tickets to game five. Um, he, uh, he texted me, he's like, hey, do you have a Timberwolves jersey? And I was like, no. And he's like, I'm calling all around town and I can't find anybody that has uh a husky size jersey for sale. And I was like, wait a minute. That's like kind of offensive. I was like, hey, I have a friend who has some girth to him.
It
I'll see
might be me.
who follows who follows sports. I'll see if he has something. I was a little offended, but
Yeah.
I did not have one.
Well, we live in a husky world.
That's fine. It happens. Um, what else is going on? Not much. I don't know. Origins is soon.
Origin.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
You're not going to go to Columbus, Ohio
I have no urge. Like I said,
for
if I go to
four or
another
five
con,
days or whatever.
it'll be BGG.
I have said this before, and I will say it again. Origins lasts too long. It is way too long for as little that you are able to do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's nobody ever has big giant releases at Origins. I remember like the last time I heard anything, it was like Quarriors was
Warriors.
like Quarriors was a big release from like whatever it was 10 years ago. Um uh
I found that's pretty much any con now. I mean, you go in, you walk through the vendor hall for the first day, and then the rest of the week you're just walking around playing games or whatever. It's not like the vendor hall changes.
trying to remember. You've been to Origins though, didn't I go play a game somewhere at
I've been doing a
Origins?
couple Origins. Yeah, Origins was my first con,
Yeah.
or was it that unpublished one? No, I think Origins was, and then I went to the unpublished unpub down in Baltimore that one year. BGG, I've been there a couple times. And there was a smaller one around here. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, I used to hook up with Jamie and them guys up there all the time.
Oh yeah, your real friends.
Yeah. I gotta try to get a hold of maybe I'll get a hold of Dawn. They're like a little too far away. Just a hair bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but no, I do. They are a hair bit too far. About an hour and a half. Yeah.
I
But
had a I had a buddy ask me out of the blue. He was like, um, he said, uh, hey, can you drive to Winnipeg for me? It's like a 4.5 hour drive from because he needed a boat part, and
Uh,
he doesn't have a. So it's like it's some like lower bearing for his fishing boat.
yeah,
Um, it's about the size of like a
yeah,
small sub sandwich or something like that. Just whatever. You probably know what I'm talking but it's like been on back order for whatever. He's like mad because he loves his boat and he's had to like use like like cousins' boats and friends' boats and stuff. And he really enjoys fishing and he's just super mad and annoyed that he can't. And then he finally tracked a part down, but it's in like some place in Winnipeg. Otherwise, it's like on back order through like the factory or whatever.
yeah.
And he tracked one down in Winnipeg, and but he doesn't have a passport. Not a passport. So
Well,
he's like, "Well, you want to drive to Winnipeg for me?"
uh,
Not really.
yeah,
You know,
9 hour ride for nothing.
it's it's like 4 hours and 38 minutes to get there, not counting the stop at the border to explain why you're driving up into Winnipeg
For a
to
half
get a boat
hour.
part.
Yeah, yeah, that don't seem
Yeah,
suspicious.
yeah. Uh-huh. As they take a bunch of pictures of your license plate and say, we'll be dismantling your car for drugs when you go back. And how
I
long
think
will you be staying in our fair country,
mhm,
sir? Maybe a couple hours. Just
they got dogs.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Me and Jen were, I gotta get my passport. Me and Jen were talking about that the other day. Might go to Ireland next year.
My wife and my two kids, uh, um, or we have an appointment at the like on the second or something like that. Uh, to get their first they get their passports because we might it's like one of those things where it's like as a family we might travel you know
Yeah.
so but who knows kind of thing um
Yeah,
anyway.
we should me and Jen were looking at it. I already priced out plates. They are quite expensive. But we'll see. I'm done with Florida for a while. I told her that. No more fucking Florida. I had enough of that state. It's time to move on. So where would you guys go if you were going overseas?
Well, maybe Canada.
Yeah,
I like going to Canada. I
I've
haven't been
been there
up there
once.
in a while. uh um I mean, part of me, I need to travel to Norway before I die. But I mean, just to see where I'm from,
Yeah,
you know. Um,
same here. Although I have to go to North Ireland, I think. Right on the border there. I've only been to Canada once, Niagara Falls. It was weird. A lot of waxing museums and strip clubs.
yeah.
That was back 2000s, late 2000s probably.
There was a bunch of people that I knew that like, because Canada, you can drink when you're 18. There's a bunch of people I knew that like they made the trip up to uh Canada, like oh we'll drink, and uh and it's like one of those things where I never did that though. I was like,
It's too
yeah.
far.
Well, I mean, it's a 3.5 hour drive, for uh from Fargo to the Canadian border.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For me, it's like 8 hours to Niagara. I know that. I don't know if I went straight up. I'm trying. It's like 6 to Elmira, I think it was.
well, I mean, isn't it just easier just to find somebody that uh can just buy you some beer? You know?
I really didn't have that problem.
Yeah, I
Going in the bars when I was 14. Yeah. Well, to get beer, I was in bars earlier than that. My uncle used to take me to one all the time growing up. They were bullshitting. I don't think you could do that anymore, to be honest with you. Have like a 6-year-old at the bar with you.
yeah, like I said, I don't the that it seems like more trouble than it's worth just so you can get it and then you don't have to deal with showing an ID or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, when you're younger, it was adventurous. Yeah. It's something to do. You had no responsibilities. Yeah.
I think anything else going on in the world?
Uh, no, I'm trying to think. Like I said, I've been down with the weather. I tried to film that maximum epoxy video. I can't sit long enough to do it quite yet. Even the guitar, I look down for too long, I start getting nauseous and pain. And all that. So I haven't really been doing much other than exercising.
Hmm.
Oh, Jen got me a flat top for on top of the propane grill. I tried that out a couple times.
Oh, how do you like that?
I'm getting used to it. I like it. I gotta get used to the hot spots and all that on it. But it's I used to be a short order cook at a hoagie shop, so I'm used to the steel. I used to cook cheesesteaks and all that. But yeah, I like it. Made burgers. Probably gonna make fried rice this week. Hash
Yeah,
browns, stuff like that.
it is. It is fun to use. Makes you feel like makes you feel like you are working at a diner or whatever.
Like I said, I've done
Yeah, so have
it.
I. I worked at a bowling alley, basically burger and fries place, just like making just making tons and tons of cheeseburgers, tons and tons of everything. It was just
Maybe that's why I don't like working in the heat anymore. Used to sweat my balls off back there.
oh, it was unbearable.
In the
It was
summer,
unbearable.
especially. Yeah. This would be before the air conditioners were as effective as they are now. We used to have one hot full blast sweating our balls off in there. It's a small space. Yeah. I was actually thinking my friend Harry works there still. I got a good job in there. He's still the manager there. Just think about him the other earlier today. I thought he'd move on by now, but
Yeah. I when I was when I was a fry cook at Hooters, I remember uh that was unbearable too. It was just the hoods were not made right and so a lot of it would just be like just eyes just burning, from the smoke and grilling up like
yeah,
burger and chicken sandwich after chicken sandwich. I would love when I'd get there and they'd say, "Oh, we need somebody to do um food place," which is just basically making sure the orders have everything together and put them on a tray and put them on.
expediter. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, just like that was he kept all the orders together, and then that was that was a much better job than doing the grind, flipping burgers.
I actually
Like,
didn't mind it. Got in a groove, a zone after a while. Depending
yeah,
on the crew around me, that it was a big part of it. Yeah, I was the manager after all, so at the time.
I mean, I get that. I mean, you do get the grind. You kind of like will, uh, you kind of reach a flow, if you will, whatever like that. Um, and just you kind of feel it as you go, and you're kind of so I get that, but I also get the fact that there were times that I would just be like,
Yeah, there always is when you're dealing with the public. That's why I never dealt with the public again after that job. I just food brings out the best and the worst in people. You just want nothing to do with people after that.
hmm.
That's why I became a contractor and a mechanic. Come to think, of it, a lot of them jobs I zoned out on, framing, you zone out after a while, I get in a groove. Troubleshooting the trains, the same thing.
I've been trying to I've been trying to put uh my my mind together on a couple of things recently. The I remember the most recent like uproar, whatever, in the D&D world, is they uh what was it? The Greyhawk, which is like the time old like the world of Greyhawk was like where all of the old one of the original settings or whatever
Mhm.
for D&D. And they pretty much like I think third edition touched on it a little bit, but they really didn't do much with it. They mostly did Forgotten Realms and Faerun and stuff like that. And it's been pretty much forgotten. It's just like, like nobody messes with it, nobody does anything with it, nobody has anything to do with it. And then they recently said that the new 1 D&D books are going to it's going to be one of the settings that they showcase or whatever. And this isn't going to be the only one. Um it's going to be just part of whatever. And now all the old grognards are like, oh, they're gonna ruin it. And again, I always just, and so I actually like, there's a few places online where I interact with a few of them. And some of them, like I said, like there's this guy named Joseph Block, who he is the guy who created his own D&D clone called Adventures Dark and Deep, which is far and which is kind of cool. Adventures Dark and Deep, ADND. That's kind of cool. But he his system's pretty good. I mean, like it's definitely one of probably like top two or three in my mind as far as like if you're gonna play an old school system. His system is very, very good. But and he has a good YouTube channel called the Greyhawk Grognard, where he just talks about different Greyhawk stuff. And if there was a scholar of Greyhawk, it would be him. He just seems to know. He's read all the stories and everything like that. And I tend to stay away from the videos that he makes as far as uh, the ones that he does as far as like the whether or not D&D is woke or whatever. I just whatever. He's I think he's in his 60s, but he's very smart. He's very knowledgeable. Anyway, so I I saw yet another thing where people are posting about how they're going to ruin it. It's going to be ruined and blah blah. And I just finally I'd had enough, and I actually just said, "What does it matter? What is it? Why do you care? Nobody's going to make you play the game differently. Greyhawk can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't matter if they change it. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to say that you don't want them to, you just don't want them to take something from your childhood and change it into something that isn't what you like and that really bothers you, then fine. I mean, I'm gonna feel it's kind of silly that
You
you
did the same thing with Star Wars.
no. I disagree. Star Wars, those movies, in my opinion, are intrinsically just bad.
They
They're
are.
just they're just intrinsically bad for a lot of different reasons.
Most
But
of Star Wars shit is coming out these days, but
um, but uh, and so then I actually put it to I was like, what difference does it make? Like seriously, what difference does it make? And Joseph actually responded to me, and we've been friends on Facebook for a long time, but we never really like interacted one and a half. And he actually kind of took me to task. He was kind of a little he was kind of smarmy to me about it, and that's fine. That's his right. He can
No.
he can be
So
smart,
don't,
but
I
but
think I need to disagree here.
but then I asked him, I was like, so no, seriously, I was like, how does this affect you? Why does this bother you? I finally was just like, please explain it to me, and he what did he say? He said, here, I'll read it to you. This has nothing to do with you will just play it the way you want because nobody can take that away from you. Nobody thinks WotC is going to send the Pinkertons to their house to force them to change their Greyhawk campaign. It is completely disingenuous to claim otherwise. But it will change the pool of prospective players, and therein lies the real problem. Those hordes of new people interested in Greyhawk because it appears in the new GMG and other books aren't going to be looking for the Greyhawk I know, game in, and talk and write about. Obviously, nobody's seen the text yet, but based on WotC's track record, those new people are going to be looking for a divergent Greyhawk with tieflings and dragonborn and other things that just don't fit. They're going to be looking for a Greyhawk where famous characters' histories and personalities have been rewritten or merged with other characters, and where the essential character of the setting has been changed in ways that aren't part of the organic evolution of the setting. The Greyhawk Wars, for example, for all the criticism they received, at least evolved from events that were already in motion in the setting rather than being retconned in. The result is going to be frustration on both sides. For example, this could happen. Player, I want to play a Tiefling. DM, this campaign takes place in Greyhawk Year 591. Explain how you survived the aftermath of the flight of fiends without the locals thinking you were a demon or cambion. Player, what do you mean? And a fracturing of the Greyhawks community is some embrace the changes and others do not. Nobody will be happy from your just goes on and on. And then I finally just said, I was just like, you're never gonna play a game. That's never gonna happen. It's like less than 1% of a situation. And that's fine. He can feel that way. And he can feel whatever he wants, but I also think it's just absolutely ludicrous. And he even said he's like, I said it's like, and and the only thing I can ever say is about arguing with anybody on the internet is that nobody ever learns. Nobody ever says, you know what, you made a lot of good points. I'm gonna need to rethink this. Nobody ever says that. They just it's absolutely pointless to have a discussion with because this is not a big oh my gosh like this is not a big revelation kind of things was that I think it's one of those things it's like you can have those types of discussions with like this with us talking because we're friends and we understand each other. And the reason why we're good friends is it has a lot to do with the fact that organically we've determined that we have much more in common than we have not in common. And so then if we have discussions like that about things that are like, we know that it is most likely that we're all going to agree. And if we don't, we can actually have an open discussion that says, well, why? I don't understand where you're coming from with this. Explain it to me. And it will not be taken as sarcasm, or there won't be somebody waiting in the bushes to leap out and yell ad hominem or straw man or whatever,
Anthony.
or whatever garbage like that. And anyway, you were going to say something, Anthony. I didn't let you talk.
Oh no, I thought we were talking about the new Dungeon Master cover.
Oh, I love it with Venger and Warduke on it. I think it's amazing.
That's what I thought you were talking about when I walked in.
Yeah, that's another thing people are complaining about too. That the Venger doesn't look cool. Just go away.
I'm sorry. I have all of the first hardcover Dungeons and Dragons books that came out. There is one good cover, and it's the Player's Handbook. This thing is so much better than those covers.
Yeah.
The Monster Manual looks like a friggin' kid's coloring book.
It does.
It does. It does. The Monster Manual, I mean, it has its lumps, and we like it for the lumps.
It was a different type, too.
Once Deities and Demigods came out, then it was like, oh, cool cover again. But like the Player Handbook cover is friggin' cool. The Dungeon Master's Guide is friggin' bad.
Well, it doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, I do like the giant demon, which later on you realize is an Efreet, on the cover. I do think that's cool in retrospect, but and the Fiend Folio cover is okay.
Yes, but it's totally different. Like it's a wholly different thing. It's like a comic book drawing from the time.
Yeah. But I think, and then the back of the DMG, it's like you're supposed to understand that is that's the City of Brass on the back, and that's why it's an Efreet on the front cover. And it's like, who decided that? Who is behind that? It's like, okay, what should we put on the front of the Dungeon Master's Guide? All right, we'll put a thing that looks like a demon that isn't a demon, and then we'll put the City of Brass in the back, because everybody's going to be going to the elemental lake of fire on all of their adventures. But we can agree the Player's Handbook one is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I dug it. If I could get a poster of the DMG book without the DMG logo or anything, and just of Warduke and
Venger
and Warduke and Avenger and whatever the other guy is, Mumra or whatever.
Mumra.
If it was Mumra, that'd be pretty sweet. Just gonna say. Yeah. The old school cartoons we used to follow. It's like Cobra Commander, Mumra, Megatron, Skeletor, their percentage of wins was like what, less than 1% of all their plans.
Yeah. Nobody said they weren't intelligent.
It's like the funny thing on you guys, I'm sure you've seen Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
So like the best Robot Chicken one ever is when Gargamel finally catches the Smurfs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's like sitting there and he just orders Chinese food.
Yeah, he has to take out. Yeah, because he's like, I finally get to eat them, and then he tastes them. He's like,
they suck.
Yeah, hey, it's me again. Yes, the usual.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 7, extra dumplings. Yeah, no, that was a good because don't they all like die in an explosion or something? And that's why he just finds all their dead bodies or something like that.
Like if they get flooded out or something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
they'll drown.
Well, Well, Papa Smurf put me in charge, and the old classic, brainy Papa Smurf.
I seen they made a new Garfield movie, but it's got a different voice. It's kind of weird to me. I've noticed that with Snoopy. There's a few.
Wait, here, let's see if we can remember the names of the Smurfs. Let's see how many we can name. So Papa, Brainy, Smurfette, Hefty. He was a
Hefty.
strong guy. He had the tattoo.
Yeah. Scary. Or not scary.
Who was the one that had the mirror? Was that Vanity Smurf?
Yeah.
All right.
They were the main ones.
Well, no, there was tons more. There was, and then Jokey Smurf always gave people the explosions.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
What was the other female one?
It was Grouchy.
Grouchy, yeah.
Well, was there Grouch? Was he just Grouchy Smurf? Are you sure it was just something?
Yeah.
Who was the dumb Smurf? Like the was there a dumb Smurf?
I don't think so.
Dingus McDewey.
Dingus
like the hillbilly Smurfs.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, hold on, let me think.
Yeah, that's the other female I was thinking of with the orange hair, the long orange hair, with the hat.
I never knew that one. I stopped watching the Smurfs before that person showed up.
I'm 7 years younger than you. Well,
there was like Chef Smurf, and there was a lazy Smurf.
Well, there was one with a hat, but was it Chef or was it Baker Smurf or something like that?
No, I think it was a Chef Smurf.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember?
This is my sister's deal. She would remember this.
I know they were like some French thing that just got
Handy Smurf.
Yeah,
Handy Smurf. He was always carrying a ladder.
Yeah.
That had to be heavy. Okay, here we go. Smurfs.
Greedy Smurf.
There's 100 Smurfs in total. It says here, right here.
100?
Smurfette.
Farmer Smurf.
Papa Smurf. Rainy Smurf. Clumsy Smurf is the somewhat dim-witted.
Clumsy, okay.
Baby Smurf.
Hefty Smurf, Baby Smurf. Grouchy Smurf. Handy Smurf. Jokey Smurf. Greedy Smurf. And you're right, it is Chef Smurf. That's it.
And Grandpa Smurf.
Grandpa Smurf.
And then Vanity Smurf. Oh, and Lazy Smurf. Remember, he was always sleeping?
Yeah.
I think there's a Baker Smurf also.
Could be.
Harmony Smurf. Musician. Farmer Smurf. Poet Smurf. Painter Smurf. Scaredy Smurf. Sloppy Smurf. Tracker Smurf. The Tracker Smurf is the Smurf who was exclusive to the 1981 cartoon. He wears a small red feather in his cap and sometimes carries a walking stick. Is he an excellent outdoorsman? Baby Smurf. Natural Smurf.
Is there a coked up Smurf?
Slouchy Smurfling. Snappy Smurfling. Sassette Smurfling.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of Sassette.
Grandpa Smurf. Timid Smurf. Architect Smurf. Baker Smurf is a real thing. Well done, Anthony. This one I remember. Clockwork Smurf. Remember the one he was made out of wood?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then
there Clockwork Smurfette also?
Yeah, they had a Clockwork Smurfette according to this. Dr. Smurf, Dopey Smurf. I knew it. I knew there was a Dopey Smurf. Dabbler Smurf. Dabbler Smurf is the most introverted and sentimental Smurf. He is constantly tormented by an inherent sadness, which stems from the inability of his friends and family to understand them. Dabbler's life is a never-ending quest for love and to be understood.
I didn't know Smurfs were so deep.
Sounds like some of you know, Anthony. Enamored Smurf. Finance Smurf.
There's probably got like a passive aggressive Smurf. There's like so many stupid things they probably have.
Yeah.
King Smurf, Meyer Smurf.
How long was this series? Does it say?
No. I mean, some of them were only in the comics. Some of them were in the
I
TV
didn't even know there was
show.
a comic.
Sneezy Smurf, Stinky Smurf, Taylor Smurf, Weakling Smurf. Oh, he got jammed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just looking for any. I mean, there's 100 of these. I'm not gonna. Marco Smurf. Marco Smurf wears an old English hat and a medallion around his neck, and he goes out to sea to get the Smurf's spices. The last time he went, it took him 2 years to get back home. The other Smurfs had to go on an
Wasn't he
expedition to
Italian?
find him. He is a spoof of the explorer Marco Polo.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Social Smurf, a blogging Smurf that is exclusive to the second Smurf movie. That's good.
But there's more than one Smurf movie? I didn't know that.
I just looked. There is a passive aggressive Smurf.
Is there?
What's his name?
Lance?
That's the name. Passive aggressive Smurf.
Nice.
Like it's another one from one of the movies.
Good. You know, and Gargamel was misunderstood too.
That's all.
I mean, yeah, he's trying to eat them, to trying to capture them for use in a potion to make gold, or to just simply get revenge. His head is balding, his nose is protuberant, and his black robe is worn and patched, and his teeth are rotten.
Just an old man trying to live. Make him into a villain. Just like Caddyshack. Poor dude was just trying to run a golf course.
Chloridris? Chlorhydris is an evil, cold-hearted sorceress. She also hates the Smurfs. Well, you know what? What about the Snorks?
Snorks. Thought about them in years.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing? Is Saturday morning cartoon still a thing? Or did the internet basically get rid of that? Or I guess it would be Disney and
yeah, remember when you had to
Nickelodeon.
wait until Saturdays to be able to watch your cartoons?
Yeah.
Now they just stream them whenever they want. Kids these days, they don't know how hard we had it.
Exactly.
If
you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah, it was gone for years. You might be able to catch it in a rerun.
That's not true. I remember watching a lot of Smurfs, and I remember seeing the same exact things over and over
again.
They
only made so many seasons.
I mean, it was just, yeah. I mean, that was one of those things where it's like you just same exact, yeah. I do remember between the Smurfs. I remember if I got up early enough, I got to watch Bullwinkle.
Bullwinkle, yeah, Rocking Bullwinkle. What was it, Canadian? The Canadian
Dudley Do-Right.
Do-Right, that's it. Yeah, the Melanie.
Nell. His horse Nell.
George of the Jungle. No, it wasn't George.
George of the Jungle was on Bullwinkle. I know I shared this before, but to this day, it is still laugh out loud funny for me when I think about it. I'm already chuckling when just Boris and Natasha, and it's just like I don't know what their plot was this time, but Natasha once again said, "But Boris, what about Moose and Squirrel?" And Boris, says, "For Moose, I have this," and he holds up this like horn or something like that, and he's like, it's like a classic cartoon horn that's all twisted up and bent around and looks weird, and he goes, by blowing into this, it is a moose mating call that is completely and totally you're unable to resist to any moose within 50 miles. Oh, but what about squirrel? For him, I have gun.
Mm.
And he just pulls out this gun. He's just this big giant horn in his head and this gun. For him, I have gun. That was another couple that never their plans never worked. Never
Of
worked.
course, the Coyotes never worked. There was a bunch of them.
Well, but every once in a while,
Elmer Fudd always got this shitty end of the stick.
for those but like they'd have the Wile E. Coyote um uh stuff, and they'd have that break the fourth wall kind of
Yeah.
thing or whatever, and then they'd let Wile E. Coyote talk about why he was the way he was, and just that whole process or whatever, and so I like that. And I enjoyed the fact that they'd let them have their moment or whatever. And like the ones where they do the team ups where they there was an absolutely fabulous one where Sylvester and the Coyote teamed up because Tweety and the Roadrunner teamed up. And so they were trying, because they were working together to try to capture their respective birds or whatever. And I mean, and then there was this classic moment where Wile E. Coyote is trying to, like, he's got this big kind of flat rock and he's pushing it towards this cliff. Like, and so it's like, because he's trying to, because he sees the Roadrunner coming, he's going to drop it, and then the rock's going to, of course, splat the Roadrunner or whatever. And he pushes it, and it doesn't, like, here's the ledge. The ledge comes out, to here, and the rock lands, and it's like this. There's like a foot of rock, but it just stays right there and doesn't fall. And of course, the Coyote jumps up on top of the rock and starts jumping up and down on it to get it to fall. And Sylvester the Cat sees him, goes, eh. It just sits on top of the rock and starts jumping as well. It's just, and then the rock, and the funny, and the rock didn't even fall. If I remember correctly, the rock didn't fall. Like a portion of the cliff just broke apart, and so everything fell. It was just so good. It was just so hilarious. Chad Roberts says no initials. We'll have initials. We need one more person.
We do.
Anthony's got his, so.
Anthony, oh yeah, it's Anthony's week.
What happened to Scott?
Well, he just had his big hanging out with his real friends thing going.
Yeah, his real friends.
It was over 2 days ago.
It takes him a while to come back. He's getting old.
Are you doing okay there, buddy? You said you had like a little
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Good.
Fine. Before I wasn't sure I was going to be fine. So that's why I was like, yeah. I give him a heads up just in case. But...
Okay.
I'm good.
You're good. Good for you.
Yeah, I have my initials right here on these cards.
Can't wait. Me and Jen had a weird conversation. She said her safety guy, I forget what they call him, came, was asking her about shootings in the store, and I'm like, they train you for that shit now? She's like, yes. It's like, how long has this been going on? She's like, they started a year ago. I'm like, they're training you for this at a grocery store. And she was explaining what it was. I went through it, but it was different. This is right after 9/11, and transportation was a little different. And I was like, it was like run, hide, or fight. And I was like, yeah, you're doing one of the first two. Okay, we're staying away from fighting.
What? Run, hide, or fight from what?
Well, if somebody comes in the store with a gun, she's supposed to run for the nearest exit. She can't do that. She's supposed to hide, and she can't do that. She's supposed to fight.
Got it.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, no, you're running. Don't be a fucking hero.
I went
But
to
yeah.
another mystery movie.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
What'd you see this time?
So so I'm gonna just say that again. Sometimes these movies
Suck.
what
Are good, I should say.
so here's so first movie we went and saw was Boy Kills World, which was great. I mean, it was probably a little bit too long
A lot of
for what it
movies
was,
these.
but if I but for the most part, enjoyable, fun. Glad we saw it. Second movie was that Babes, which is we left after like 20 minutes or like 15, 20 minutes. We're like, nah, this is fun. As my wife said, she said this is a movie I would turn on and watch on Netflix while I was staring at my phone.
Yeah.
Just to have it on. And then next movie was Ezra, which I really enjoyed.
You said that.
Nobody will ever say it was a great movie, but it was it was poignant when it needed to be, and I thought it was well done. And this one we stayed for it, and it was a movie called Summer Camp, which starred Kathy Bates, Diane Keaton.
Oh, this must have been a great one.
Dennis Haysbert, the that's all states plan.
Oh, okay.
The voice.
Yeah.
He was in a ton of movies. Like
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago. Eugene Levy was in it.
Okay.
So I don't want to give any spoilers, but the whole premise behind this movie is three girls who went to summer camp and like would go. First of all, they actually meant it was like 8 weeks out of the summer we spent at camp, whatever. I was like, 8 weeks? Who
Your
goes to
parents
camp?
hated you.
Who goes to camp for 8 weeks? I was just like, that is just the most insane amount of time I ever thought of. So, and then it was like one of those things where, so these three girls became like besties at uh at summer camp, and then of course time marches on and they get older and they have lives and whatever and they do their thing, and now one of them, the Kathy Bates character, is saying we need to there's going to be a reunion at the camp and we all need to go, and of course it's like, and each of them now are they were like, so it's like it's set like 50 years after they were at the camp,
So it's
like whatever.
Boomer's Red Hot Summer.
So it's women in their 60s or maybe 70s, I don't know. I mean, like, we were not the target audience for this, but I was sitting there and I was watching this, and I I literally looked at my wife at one point, and there was enough there for us to not leave, right? But I remember at one point I turned to my wife and said, I've never seen a movie that didn't have a script before.
You see plenty.
I mean, it literally
That
felt
bad,
like they were just like, so what's supposed to happen in this scene? Let's just do it. Like, there were just these moments, and like I said, I don't want to give anything away because maybe somebody will go see it and whatever. But it will. It was such a mediocre movie that just had nothing going for it, and just like, and I'm just sitting there and watching this, and I was just like, this is a situation where it's like, I mean, the people that are in the movie, like I said, like Kathy Bates, like Diane Keaton, Eugene Levy. I mean, like, how could you make a 90-minute movie or however long it was and give Eugene Levy one funny line throughout the entire movie? He has one line that actually like made me laugh out loud because they, very convoluted reasoning, they had to break into a a locked room because Diane Keaton's cell phone is in there because they've confiscated all the cell phones. And they break into this room to get her cell phone, and of course they're discovered. And when they get discovered, they freak out and they knock over this camp computer that is like an old school CRT monitor or whatever, like falls over, the whole thing shatters, whatever. And then like the camp director and the this I mean, from what I understand, like this woman, I know she does the voice of a character on Bob's Burgers, but she was like live action, like it was like she was trying to be, I'm gonna be like, take Chris Farley and mix them with I can't even think of who else. I had it in my mind, but she was doing this character that was just completely and totally not funny in any way, shape, or form. And she was just annoying whenever I saw her on the screen. But they lead them away to like give them a talking to. It's like, well, first of all, it's like you have this camp at a thing, and they're like, you're an adult. You're in like either your 70s or your 60s, and you have somebody sitting there trying to like, give you the business or whatever. It's you'd be like, I'll just leave. Give me back my phone. I'll leave. No big deal. But so it just didn't make. But the woman, the camp director, she says, and we're gonna need you to pay to replace the monitor too. And Eugene Levy just deadpans. Well, I'll get a time machine back to 1995 and pick one up for you. And I was like, ha! I just laughed. And that was the only funny thing he had to say. That was the only thing they gave him the entire time. I was just like, how do you have Eugene Levy in a movie?
I can see.
You just don't let him be funny at all.
I can see how comedy movies in this age is tough because they don't want to be offensive. So, they don't. It's tough.
Maybe I was, like I said, it was the most C- of all movies I've ever seen in my life. What are you doing, Anthony? You doing the initials?
I'm listening.
Oh, it's like you're scribbling away. I figured you're doing the final touches on your.
He's texting his wife. Comedy movies in general are tough. Like if you don't have the right edit, where there isn't chemistry, they're tough.
Maybe. I don't know. Hi, Evan.
Oh, well, don't go out of your way.
How are you doing? You going to Origins, Evan?
No, not Origins. You guys going?
Good.
Good. Are you gonna be there?
What does it matter to you? You're not going to be there.
What's the matter for you, huh?
What's the matter for you? What's the matter for you?
I like to know what I'm missing out on. Some sweet, sweet hanging.
Yeah, there you go. Like I was just saying, Origins just lasts too long. It's too many days. But it's not bad.
5 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you get there Tuesday, you set up on Wednesday, and you can't sell anything because they don't actually open up. But you have to be there all day Wednesday to set up because they won't let you set up on Thursday because it opens on Thursday. Yeah, it just it's
Travesty. That's what it is.
yeah, it's just too long. However,
well, for you, you're there to work.
I will always enjoy going to I forget what it's called, but like the Happy Time toy store or whatever that has all the old retro toys and Origins. That's a fun place to go to. And they have the bar that has the free video games, the free coin op arcade games. You just go up and play them. That's not a horrible place to enjoy. and whatchamadig, the what
Whatchamadig.
no, I'm trying to remember the market. Go get the hot chicken. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's tasty.
Oh yeah, had the hot chicken.
What, North Market? Something of it?
Yeah, it's
Can't remember. Yeah.
I never remember which place is attached to which city or which convention center. But
Yeah, I know the Reading terminal because I worked there a little bit. I actually worked in the convention center there a bit. Yeah,
oh, did you?
yeah. Uh, when it was being built, um, North Market because I was there a couple times. We went to Origins I think 3 times, maybe 4.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know anything in Fort Worth because you got to go outside for every day. Yeah,
Right.
I haven't been in the new one at the new building, the one in Dallas itself. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Barry, are you on? You on BGA?
Barry,
He's not listening.
Barry,
Barry.
Barry.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Barry.
I'm having problems with the like.
Oh, it's okay.
I think the computer wants to reboot for that Microsoft shit. But yeah, I have BGA. I'm just not on it often.
Oh, are
Play
you
with Scott
Barry?
once in a while.
Are you Barry Allen?
No, I beat the Gimp.
Who's Barry Allen?
I don't know.
Barry Allen is the
Flash.
Flash.
Wow, wow.
Or Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can.
All right. Well, somebody, I think Leonardo DiCaprio just friend requested me on BGA.
Cool.
No, I only have one friend on BGA. That's Scott. I
What
don't
was Norm
know.
Macdonald's line of that Leonardo DiCaprio or something? I know who was it? I forget what it was, but they said something like it was at a roast or whatever, and they said your comedy career is 29 years old, which means it's 11 years too old to be Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend.
Yeah. Correct.
I do remember it wasn't a roast per se, but it was like when Rickles was alive, they did a thing where they did a whole like just a commemoration, as in you're getting old, and so and we're gonna do this before you die kind of thing.
Yeah.
And all these people came up there and Johnny Depp was wearing very Johnny Depp clothes or whatever.
Of course.
And but he gave a speech and he said like he got to like say a few words or whatever, and he said you know, everybody always told me that when if Rickles takes the time to make fun of you, you know you've made it or whatever.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
he was always saying that. And he's like, and so I was at, you know, insert movie here or movie meeting here, and I was gonna get to meet Don Rickles, or maybe he was on like the Tonight Show or something like that. And it was like, and then he showed up or whatever, and Don Rickles was like, oh, you know, it's like, you know, Johnny Depp. He's like, and shook his hand, and he's like, I am so happy to meet you. I've seen you in everything, you know, and just gushing, just like just an amazing young actor. I've been impressed with you and every single thing you've been in, and I just this may sound weird, but it's like it's just a joy to meet you. Thank you so much or whatever. And that was it. Like he didn't make fun of him or anything, and he was
Really?
just like,
Oh, that's
and
funny.
he was just like, he's like, so please, Don, please. He's like, you need to. And so, and then when Don got his time to say thank you to everybody at the end of the thing, he was just like, it's like Johnny Depp. I'd like to thank you for coming to us, showing up on Laundry Day. It's just like, and he just kind of blasted him for like a minute, and then he got up and he was just like, "Thank you."
So one of the best Don Rickles stories is how Don Rickles almost got himself killed.
Ooh.
With Frank Sinatra?
No.
Oh, the Frank Sinatra. Oh no.
So
Another time.
Another time.
So he was performing at the Copa, and one of the big mob guys was there, and they said, "Oh, so and so is here. Don't say anything to them." And Rickles went right out and literally just tore into the entire team.
Yeah.
And the guy thought he was friggin' hysterical that he went over to him after and he said, "It's my birthday tonight. My family's going out to dinner. You have to come. I'll send a car for you." And Bickle said, "Yeah, sure, I'll be there." And at the last minute, he just said he wasn't going to go, and the guy got gunned down
Oh,
at dinner.
Wow.
so
No,
the two
Maggie P in the place to be.
Yeah, really.
the two stories, and then we can do initials. The two stories that I love about Rickles and how true, whether or not they're true or not, who knows? But he told the story about like he was out with Frank Sinatra and in Vegas, and they were like just drinking, just like going nuts, and they were out all night long, well into the early mornings, and he's like once maybe twice a year they get a thunderstorm in Vegas. He said, but when you get a thunderstorm in Vegas, he says it is because of all the heat and the heat lightning is just fierce, and it's just flash, just like. But we got back to Frank's house, and we go in, and outside it's just like all these, like it's just flashing, and he said Frank was just sitting. He said he was sitting on his couch and he was just covering his eyes because they were all hungover and feeling horrible. And he said, "John," he said, "Yeah, Frank, what do you need?" "You need to go outside and tell those motherfucking photographers to stop taking pictures." He said, "So what'd you do?" "I went outside and yelled at nobody for 10 minutes. Just like, and then the other one is the one that everybody knows, is that like when he says when he wanted to like impress a girl he was on a date with, and he goes to the club and he sees Frank Sinatra's there, and he walked over to him and he's like, "Hey, Frank, would you do me a big favor, and like when you leave, could you come over to the table and just say hi? I really want to score with this girl, and having you over there would really like do wonders for me." And he's like, "Of course, of course." And so then he's sitting there eating, and then when they got to leave, and Frank came walking by the table, it's like, "Hey, Don, how's it?" He goes like, "Frank, can't you see I'm busy?" He was funny.
All right, give me a minute and talk to Matt.
Fine, I'll talk to
Get
Matt.
any grievances Matt has out of the way.
Do we have to?
We'll be right back.
Matt, do you have a grievance?
I do.
Hey.
But I'm not sure I can voice it publicly.
Can you do vagaries?
No,
vagabonds?
not really, actually. Something happened
okay.
today at work, and something that we were hired to do, and it was questioned, and I did my thing, and then got countermanded a bunch of times. So I just kind of ended up saying, "You know what? That's fine. You know what? I'm just going to step back, and I'm not going to do that thing anymore. You guys can do it. You seem to have a pretty clear course set in mind, so away you go." And I feel better for having done that.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was just a little frustrating, to be honest,
Yeah. There are times right now, and this is not by any means, this is not Ryan or anything like that, but there is somebody right now on a project that I'm working on that I'm dealing with that it's like it's fine. I mean, I'm trying desperately to just be respectful and everything like that, but it's one of those things where it's like at some point you like wonder, should we just cut bait? At this point. I mean, like,
Yeah.
just like the bandwidth of trying to like maintain that situation of like trying to like, but no, I mean, like, I do think, and then like, it's like when you're the one that's like, hey, how's this coming or how's this working? And like, and they always just seem to, like, oh, well, it's just like when I despise when you're working with somebody that is, like not in the same country as you are. And it's just like, hey, so next week last week you said you'd have this done. And then they're like, oh, I was sick all last week. It's like well, do you think maybe you would have said something like shoot an email, when I specifically said, so are you going to have this project done for me? And you're in Brazil and you could just say, you could like say, wow, I'm not feeling well. I'm not getting this done. But it's like when like all this stuff is,
give me 1 second.
When all of this crap is hinging on the fact that I really need you to get this done for me, and then when I don't hear from you all week, and I finally like reach out to you like on the Tuesday the next week, and I'm like, hey, so you got that stuff for me? Oh, I was sick all last week.
Yeah,
so, I got a lot of other stuff backed up. So maybe next week I'll be able to attack your project. I was like, how the fuck did I end up?
I don't.
The other people.
I mean, I don't know what it is, but I don't understand people like that.
I do.
Yeah.
No work ethics.
No what?
No work ethics.
Well, sure, but I mean, like, I can't relate to people like that because I feel bad enough that I'm not getting back to people within like a short amount of time, let alone a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
And if I mean, really, when you're, especially when you're your own entrepreneur or sorry, as you guys say it, entrepreneur. But
manure.
What did you say?
I call them manure.
I think it's entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. You guys pronounce it OOR, and we say entrepreneur, like
Yeah.
Like
doesn't matter.
Better.
So when you're your own boss,
like manure,
and you're
wait a minute, Aldi, where are you?
I'm at the building.
and
I'm at the building.
Okay, I got it.
I'm in the undisclosed location.
Okay.
Anybody drive into the building lately?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So what
Again?
happened was, I don't know if you guys heard, but there was like 80-mile-an-hour storm winds in Dallas over the weekend.
I heard,
No.
I heard the power was out.
So everybody's flight was canceled. So, hey, longer convention time. Nobody, Lincoln and Nikki can't leave till tomorrow.
Wow,
that sucks.
And Christina and Michael are here from Columbus. They're hanging out.
Yeah.
Are they there with you in the room?
We're doing a little pinball.
Yay!
Hey, I heard you got a lot of people calling you recently.
Yeah, my phone's been ringing off the hook.
Oh yeah, didn't you get doxxed or something?
Sorry, Scott.
Did get doxxed.
You did?
Do you know how they got a hold? It wasn't me, first of all, because I had the number. But
you
do you know how they got a hold of it?
No.
How many calls did you get? If you had to guess.
Like 8.
Oh, that ain't bad.
And did you answer it, or did they just eat voicemail?
Yeah, it was all voicemails.
Okay.
Still, that's pretty messed up, though.
Ooh, were they like? Were
it's
they
kind of
really
messed up.
nasty?
Yeah.
No, nothing nasty. Just sea lining.
Yeah.
If that makes what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
The sea lion is just like when okay, so here, like you say something
There's
like
a
mildly
comic.
controversial.
Search for a comic, a sea lion comic. There's a comic that describes it exactly.
But it's like it's one of those things where it's like where like Matt, if you said Americans are so pushy, and then I was like, oh, I would like to know how you feel Americans are so pushy. I'm an American and I don't find myself pushy. What do you think? And then you'd say something like, well, not all Americans. Well, maybe you should preface that by saying some Americans are not. It is your statements. It's like, okay, we've done now. Well, why are you being so rude to me? I'm just stating my opinions. I'm just trying. Isn't this an open discourse? Isn't this a situation where you and I can talk about this? Are you not allowing me to express my opinion? No,
okay, got you. You are pushy right now.
But yes,
mean right now?
The sea lion comic is like something along those lines.
No, that's great. Okay, fair enough.
Is this a repetitive thing, Scott, or like they're calling back constantly, or is it just a one and done type thing?
I blocked them.
Okay, good.
Is it just the one person?
No, it's a couple people. There's a couple different.
Is BGG Spring at the same hotel?
It's at the Hyatt Regency
The
in
old
DFW.
school.
It's
at the DFW airport. Yeah,
so it's not the same hotel.
Commoners.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been to that one.
No.
Yeah, DFW Hyatt.
What do you mean
at the airport?
You like
it was good times,
commoners.
man. I had a great time. It was 5 days.
So,
I'm tired.
Explain
sure.
yourself. What were commoners doing in the Glasscock?
No, that was open gaming.
Yeah. The Glasscock hasn't been the Glasscock in years, Lance.
Glasscock is no longer, doesn't have the allure anymore.
I can tell you where the new Glasscock is.
I've been relegated to a different room.
Yeah.
I don't need so much room of the Glasscock.
I'm almost glad that it always happens over Memorial Day and I've got lake stuff going on.
So spring is about as big as fall was back in the day.
Yeah, last year it was. I thought it was.
It's pretty big. It was pretty good. It was solid, busy, good energy, lots of fun.
Yay.
Good. Yeah. The exhibitor hall was better, bigger.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you give them
I
more
heard
room?
there was like RPG companies there this time around.
There were some RPG companies there. Yeah.
Yeah, Chad was telling me about
there was a lot of Blood on the Clock Tower being played every night. There's a lot of big Blood on the Clock Tower going on at night, late night shenanigans.
A lot of blood.
I played that twice. I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
A lot of clocking, a lot of blood. Yeah.
I get why people. It's good.
It's good.
So I've got a it's sort of a grievance. Yeah, it's a grievance.
Let's go.
So I went to the Velvet Taco over by the airport.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we sat on the patio and it was nice and the food was delicious and the company was wonderful.
Okay.
And it rained hard. Like, it was like a boom downpour while we were eating. We were fine. No rain got on us. Okay. So we're getting ready and the rain stopped and the sun, the clouds parted, the sun came out. And I refilled my soda and got a cup and a lid and got my straw and I'm walking out. And I stepped on the curb and it was like a slanted curb, like, an angled slow roll curb. It wasn't like a hard, edge.
Yeah.
So my foot caught the edge. I caught my foot on it and it was that yellow stripe paint, like very shiny yellow paint.
Yeah.
That's super slick. Yeah. And it was super wet and slick. And my foot went out from under me.
Oh, you went down.
And I went forward and I caught my left toe on the pavement. And I thought I broke it, but it's not broken. And then I face planted.
Yeah.
I hit my chin on the curb.
I was looking at your chin.
I
was wondering.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you sounded a little funny,
dude.
That sounds horrible. I was wondering.
I was like, it was going through my mind. I'm like, oh, I'm going to the hospital. Like in it, like that was the last thing through my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm falling down for sure. I got my hands down. I'm like, oh, I'm good. And then I felt my chin hit the curb, and I'm like, oh, did I just crack a tooth? Did I break my jaw? Because I was like, ooh, like I felt like I got punched. Honestly,
dude,
I remember this feeling from high school.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say something. I was going to say, did somebody give you a fat lick? Because that's what
some kids sucker punched me in high school, and I'm like, I remember the feeling of getting a jaw punch. And
your neck and all that all right, Scott?
I'm all good. Everything was great.
Like got super lucky, man.
Just my pride.
Yeah, like no teeth. Like I'm like, I had to do this little I think it's okay. That minute for a minute. My knees went. I skinned my knees
or something.
Yeah, I skinned my knees through my pants, and my hands got
cut up.
Skinned.
Stop talking about it. It's like that.
Well, my grievance is I went back the next day and I told the manager, like, I slipped yesterday and here's why. And you should probably not have this kind of paint out there. They don't, they're like, okay, we'll pass up the chain. I'm like, okay.
Sure, yeah.
My lawyers will be calling you later.
You're in a lot of trouble, pal.
That place we went to last year, Scott, I thought was slippery.
Which one?
I can't. It was
the Velvet Taco?
I don't remember if it was. Give me a minute.
No, it was.
I remember the front had like tile on it.
Yeah, that was Uncle Julio.
Uncle Julio, yeah.
Yeah, Uncle Julio is slippery too.
Yeah.
There's a Mexican place in Century City called the Pink Taco.
Pink Taco.
Yeah, strip
so my glasses flew off. My glasses flew off. My drink went everywhere. Yeah. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to refill your drink?" And I'm like, "Fuck no, we're getting out of here. Let's just leave." Like fucking left it.
Yeah, I gotta recuperate.
My drink, my beverage.
I was sitting there and like everybody rushes to me and like they're pulling me, lifting me up. I'm like, wait a second, I don't know if I'm well. I can get up. They're like, get up. Like I was up and they were trying to lift me up and I'm like, I think let me give me a minute.
I'll drink your milk.
Like let me sit in the floor on the ground in the wet. In the wet cement or the pavement.
Yeah.
But it was all good. I took the night off. I was gonna go back in game, which I did not, and I went to bed and ended up watching the Mavs beat the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Sorry, Liz.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, hey, we finally won one, so
you got one. You got one. Yeah, you never know.
No,
you never know.
It's over. I gotta say, Luka Doncic is the biggest crybaby in the NBA.
He's pretty crybaby-ish, yeah. Big crybaby. Come on, just a roll back. Review. Everything like that.
Yeah. No, I just I love. Sorry to sports ball, but I mean, Anthony Edwards gets in that first game or second game, he got a technical call because he stared at a guy after he dunked.
Taunting.
But when Luka with like whatever it was 10 seconds left, hits the three, and he's running back and you can see him say
he's dropping F-bombs.
You're the MFing defensive player there. You effing suck. You're a piece of shit. You
can't guard me. You can't guard me.
Yeah, and just yelling F's into his head. That wasn't top.
You MF-upper, you can't guard me.
Yeah. Just
I got my blood going. That I gotta say, I have to say, they gave me like a little like, oh, what's it like to have a good player on a team for once? Well, since Dirk Nowitzki, I mean, he was amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's my grievance. It was the curb.
That damn curb.
Yeah.
Damn curb, baby.
Well, dude, I'm
I don't know if I'll have a scar or anything. I'm not sure. Probably not. But my left toe is almost broken.
Ooh.
Like it turned blue. It's like it's starting to get its color back now though.
Okay.
Spraying it.
Like because I stubbed it. Yeah. Like I caught it on the something. Yeah. I couldn't figure out what happened there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
Hopefully the nail will survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a rough one for a minute there, but I'm good.
Man, we can't take you anywhere, Scott.
What's that?
Let's let Scott win initials tonight. So
no, I don't want to make the new ones.
Yeah.
Did anybody make one tonight?
I did. It's right here.
All right, here we go.
Like NM. Is that right?
M.
I'm sorry.
Oh, M.
Oh, okay. MM.
Okay.
And I will say, wait for the second clue.
Okay.
What?
Wait for the second clue.
The first one will be misleading, Lance.
Well, it always is. You absolutely should be one. The first one's supposed to be vague.
Okay, here we go.
We gotta explain the game to people now.
Item number 1 is in the Hall of Fame.
You're stealing my bit.
I'm not guessing it.
Stealing my bit.
Clue number 2, associated with country cooking. Clue number 3, nicknamed the Commerce Comet.
The Commerce what?
Comet. Clue number 4, suspended 14 years after retiring. At their request, their tombstone reads, "A great teammate."
Evan.
Lance.
Evan.
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle is correct.
Yeah, I knew that one. God damn it.
I was going to guess that off the first one.
I
You
know,
told me to
right?
wait, and then I waited for anything that would give me something.
I know. Right? Same.
He took money at a casino to pretend to be basically a greeter or whatever, and baseball suspended him for it.
Oh, that's
What?
nice.
Yes, he got suspended from baseball in 1983. Him and Willie Mays, because they took jobs with a casino.
Bullshit.
Yeah, basically the glad hand and to sign autographs.
Yeah.
Here we go.
They were reinstated later, but
Yes. Item number 2.
Number 2.
Clue number 1 is in the Hall of Fame.
Here we go.
So all of them are going to say this.
Let's just ram it right into the ground. Take Lance's favorite thing and just
Number 2
Destroy it.
yeah.
started on the Mets. Clue number 3, nicknamed the Moose. Clue number 4, has 2 hearts. Clue number 5, has won 6 championships. Final clue, former Edmonton Oiler who helped the New York Rangers win the Stanley Cup. Matt.
Mark Messier.
Mark Messier is correct.
Did you only have 5 clues?
That was no. Hall of Fame, started with the Mets, nicknamed the Moose, 2 hearts, has won 6 championships.
Oh yeah, okay.
What's the 2 hearts thing?
Heart
2 heart
trophies.
trophies.
Oh, heart trophies. All right.
No,
yeah.
I have to answer your freaking hockey answer. Jeez, give me that point.
I don't know hockey.
No.
I don't know what a heart.
I know Mark Messier
Item
from the
number
Lay's
3.
commercials.
First clue is in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, boring.
Clue number 2, one of 16 children. Clue number 3, came out in 1921. Clue number 4, their cover of Dion's Abraham, Martin, and John hit number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1969. Clue number 5, put Whoopi Goldberg on the map. Final clue. Born Loretta Aiken, her vaudeville years gave birth to the iconic African-American comedic persona she is known by. 5.
Evan. Miss Mabel.
5.
Jeez.
4. 3.
Worth a shot.
2. 1. Oh, I get a point. Mom's Mabley.
What?
Mom.
I'll keep asking.
Before my time.
Ooh.
So I get half a point. Is that right? Because Mabley.
You're close.
Oh, Mom's Mabley. Oh, yeah.
All right, item number 4
Oh boy.
is in the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Clue number 2 was the first ever. The last was in 2005. Clue number 3, sold while recovering from a leg injury. Clue number 4 was a Brave for 2 games. Clue number 5, MVP back-to-back years on 2 different teams.
Matt. Mark McGuire.
Final clue Nicknamed chairman of the boards, this NBA legend passed away in 2015.
Oh, Matt.
Nope. 5, 4,
Aldi.
3. Aldi?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, yeah,
Say
sure.
Aldi's voice, Matt. Go ahead.
I said that. I was just kidding.
Nobody?
Moses Malone.
Moses Malone was correct.
Yeah.
All
There you
right.
go.
It's a good player.
He was the first high school player ever drafted to the NBA.
I'm not even a sports fan, and I got that.
It's
Well, I
really
didn't.
funny because his first one's always going to be is in the Hall of Fame. So really, we're only getting 5 clues.
We're getting totally screwed out of a clue.
Yeah, you take something that can be fun, and then you have to ruin it trying to be funny. But you know,
Clue number 1
He just wants to get more points.
is in the Hall of Fame.
Just skip the number 1 from now on. I mean, we get the joke.
He's got a shtick.
Clue number 2 replaced a famous sailor. Clue number 3 associated with Captain Lou Albano. Clue number 4 holds numerous Guinness titles.
Matt. This is probably wrong. Macho Man.
I was just thinking, Matt. Glad I didn't say it.
Clue number 5 started their career as a carpenter.
Harrison Ford.
No, the other carpenter.
Final clue. Along with his brother, this plumber has appeared in numerous videos for Nintendo.
What's his last name?
Yeah, I mean,
And
Lance, Mario.
Mario is correct.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I changed my mind.
That's why they're the Mario Brothers.
All right.
Oh, didn't know that. Never thought about that.
Yeah. Here we go. Next one. Clue number 1. Rutgers University alumni, class of 1928. Clue number 2.
There's it down.
Has 2 Academy Awards. '97 film protested by support groups for the disabled.
What year is that? 97?
1997. Has played the Count of Monte Cristo, Friar Tuck, Merlin, and Ebenezer Scrooge.
Barry.
Mike
Myers.
Spokesman for GE, Stag Beer, and Sterling Optical. Final clue. This cartoon character's catchphrase ends with,
Evan.
"You've done it again."
Oh.
Aldi.
I already said me.
Aldi.
Lance.
Go ahead.
Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo is correct.
I don't make any of the other sense of any of the other clues.
No, that doesn't make any sense. I guess Sterling Optical, now you think about it, the eyeglasses.
Yeah.
And Stag Beer, they used to have the commercials with him in it. Like actual.
Oh, yeah, Stag Beer. I used to pop those.
He won Oscars?
Yes, 2 of the Mr. Magoo shorts won Academy Awards.
Got it.
Ugh,
There you go.
you're horrible at making.
Clue number 1. First seen in 1966. Clue number 2. Sometimes combined as one word and has 2 entries on BGG. Clue number 3.
Aldi. Mastermind.
Good guess,
Oh,
Good guess,
that's
though.
it. That was a good.
Dang.
That
Where's
was
your pen on that one, Evan?
That was
That was good.
it right there.
That was that was good. That was really good.
Man, I thought I had it.
I
Yeah,
thought
that
so
was-
too. As you said, I was like,
Sounded
yeah, that's
good.
it.
That sounded good.
Clue number 3. The game Medium is based on the party game.
on medium.
Evan.
Mind meld.
Mind meld is correct.
Whoa,
Was there a
this is
Star
very
Trek
good.
reference in there somewhere?
64. Spock.
66 first
Or
used.
67.
Originally used to
Yeah.
obtain information from mentally unstable.
There you go.
Uh,
Nicely done. Nicely
Here we
done.
go. Moving along. Clue number 1 is in the Hall of Fame.
More things change, the more they stay the
Clue
same.
number 2, hired as a temporary replacement. Clue number 3, appeared on 2 episodes of a 1978 sitcom with his brothers. Clue number 4, parodied by Rick Moranis, Jimmy Fallon, Justin Timberlake, and himself. Clue number 5. Someone to say something?
No.
Okay. Won record for Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and 2 other Grammys in 1979.
Never have any idea unless it's metal.
Final clue. His distinctive soulful voice has produced hits as a solo artist and with the Doobie Brothers.
Lance.
Lance?
Manfred Mann?
Am I doing initials again next week? Because I'm winning right now.
It sounds like
That's
you
what I'm
might be.
thinking. Yeah, it's just.
I sure hope you'll put together. I'm thinking of a color.
5, 4.
Aldi. Michael Mann.
Evan.
Evan?
Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald is correct.
Man, that's
Well
what,
done,
that's what I was
Evan.
trying to say.
Well done.
We're getting there.
I believe he goes by Mike.
No, he goes by Michael.
Just kidding.
Good job, Mike.
Yeah, good job, Evan.
All right, here we go.
I want Evan to win.
I forgot he even
more
existed.
because I want to see what Evan comes up with for his initials.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Don't you have one in your pocket, Evan?
I did it. We did it.
We did it.
Everybody
It
said
was like
good.
it was
half of
three,
initial.
It was 3 letters, and then it was
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
3 letters, yeah.
okay.
Some of these
You know-
will have 3 letters, and some of them will have 1, and then
And
it's
and
just
they
like,
said we will
what a
never
train
invite
wreck.
you back.
Okay, here we go. Clue number
In the
1.
whole
Broken
thing.
the pact.
Debuted in 1986. Clue number 2. Featured in 1990s Home Alone.
Evan.
Micro
Machines.
Machines is correct.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
That
Nice.
deep cut.
Sales for 3 to 4 years eclipsed the 3 biggest competitors combined. Known for their convertibility, associated with the world's fastest talker.
I never liked Micro Machines. They're too small.
Yeah, me too.
Hey,
Yeah,
Really
you
tight.
fuck
You
your
put a little
feet up.
penny in the back of them and have them do a wheelie.
Yeah.
moving along here. I should give myself a point for this because no one's going to get this.
Well, I'm glad you put it in there then.
We'll see what happens.
Oh, geez.
Crowd pleaser.
Yeah, I mean, what I love is that his giveaway clue is like the worst clue of them all.
Okay. Clue number 1. It's in the Hall of Fame.
Clue
Clue number 2. 65 years old. Clue number 3. Known as the best to never win a championship. Evan?
Mark McGuire.
Eh.
Yeah.
Clue number 4. Great at turning left.
Great at turning left.
Oh.
This clue number 5. Does not appear in Days of Thunder or Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, my NASCAR knowledge is 0.
Final clue.
It's
This
negative.
NASCAR for Dummies author retired in 2014 after 1,143 combined races. All right, I'll just mark that down.
Is it the
Mark
Italian-
Martin is his name.
What's that?
Who was it?
Mark Martin.
Oh, Mark
Oh.
Martin.
Oh, Mark Martin.
Here, tip
Sound
my
like Dale
tongue.
Earnhardt Jr.
Tip my tongue.
Yeah.
Next time
Alright.
I do initials, I'll just keep winning initials every week. You know,
There's
oh, I
a-
can't believe you guys didn't get the
Here we go.
John Simpson, the inventor of the ukulele.
There are 6 left.
Oh God.
Anybody's game.
Anybody's
Anybody's
game.
game.
Clue number 1.
The only people that lost were everybody that played.
Clue number 1 is in the Hall of Fame.
In Hall of Fame.
Of course
He's
he
the
is.
Hall of Fame ukulele maker.
Clue number 2, born in Weathersford, Texas. Clue number 3, associated with Peter Pan.
Peanut butter?
Clue number 4, the shooting of their son in 1980 seemed to be all anyone was talking about.
Evan.
Evan?
Mark McGuire.
One of these.
Are you playing Forest Roll today, Evan?
Yeah,
Like
no
6
shit.
left.
And then I'm gonna not get it when it is. Yeah.
Clue number 5.
Right.
Despite starring on Broadway, never got to reprise their role on the big screen adaptations. Final clue. This Broadway legend and mother of Larry Hagman won Tony Awards for Peter Pan, South Pacific, and Sound of Music.
Liza Minnelli.
Minnelli. Mrs. Peter Pan.
All right. Never mind. You guys are so
You're uncultured sons of bitches. What was the answer?
You heathens.
Mary Martin.
Oh,
I've never heard of this.
Mary
lady.
Martin.
Mary
Martin.
Previous one was Mark Martin, right?
yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Mary Martin.
Here we go.
In the Hall of Fame.
Here we go.
I'd like to apologize to everyone who was waiting for initials this evening.
The crowd loves my initials.
You got a
Really?
backup back there, Lance?
Really?
Did you buy the expansions yet?
That's word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I'm going to see how bad I can make these next time. Maybe it'll be worse.
Oh, please.
I'm going to win 16-0.
I'll do it next time.
Oh, Evan's on the verge of winning here.
Yeah, Evan, can
No,
we?
he's not. He's tied with you.
Here we go.
Every single one you have sucks.
He's on the verge of winning.
And I think you're going to win it.
Item. You know what?
Known for their bee
Where are we at?
handling in the
Number-
1600s.
Clue number 1.
Clue
It's a
number one.
band.
It's a band.
Wait, are you skipping ones now?
No. Clue number 2. Associated with twisting. Clue number 3. Associated with shock absorption. Clue number 4. Can't be truly fixed once damaged. Clue number 5. Works in conjunction with a lateral. Final clue. This semicircular fibrocartilage in your knee helps keep the bones in your thigh and calf from rubbing
Evan.
together.
Evan,
Evan?
The medial meniscus.
Medial meniscus is correct.
that's a loaded question.
Yeah. This street is where Aldi lives.
For the only medical professional on the panel, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. Clue number 1.
That was a freebie. That was a gimme.
Associated with Saint Anthony.
Oh, you're no saint.
Clue number 2. Home of the Jets. Clue number 3. Has 12 sisters and a twin.
Evan.
Evan?
Mary Magdalene.
I was just about to say that.
Clue number 4. birthplace of same-sex marriage in 1970. Once known as the anti-Semitic capital of the United States.
Oh, delightful.
Anthony Ricano's living room.
Gained notoriety in 2020 after a video recording of an arrest. Final clue. This
We've got
Midwest
like 8 clues for this one.
This Midwest city has never hosted a Super Bowl parade for the Vikings.
Matt. Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis, Minnesota is correct.
There was like 8 clues for that one.
Oh, there was 7 for that one. That was good. Okay, here we go.
Well, apparently
That George Floyd
Play
thing?
fast and loose with the rules.
Yeah, it was. I was trying to
There's
remember what it was.
16. There's 6 clues.
Okay, here we go. Number 1. According to C.S. Lewis, you have never talked to one.
You've never what?
You have never talked to one. Clue number 2. Pandora was the first. Clue number 3. Batman is one. Superman isn't.
Barry. Mere mortal.
Mere mortal.
I was just
Wow,
nice one, Barry.
Nice.
Subject to flaws and mistakes by creation. Okay, 2 to go.
2 to go. Anybody's game. Except
Anyone's
for me, Lance, Aldi.
Clue number 1 was a spoof of the creator's other creation.
Lance.
Aldi? Oh, Lance.
No, I was first.
Lance?
I
Okay.
was first.
Who is
Lance.
it?
I don't care.
No, it doesn't matter. Go Aldi.
It doesn't
We're not
matter.
gonna win either.
No, Lance, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Minnie Mouse.
Scott.
Aldi, would you
Math-
like to answer or would you like
Marshall-
to rescind your call?
Marshall Mathers.
Evan.
Mickey Mouse.
Evan?
Mortimer Mouse.
Oh, we're all burning them on the first clue.
Popular in the 60s, 5 minutes at a time. Clue number 3.
Micro
Lives
Machines.
in Empire City.
What?
Lives in Empire City. Clue number 4. Has a movie star girlfriend with the same initials. Clue number 5. Enemies include a hairy gorilla, shaggy dog, and an iron shark.
I know it now too.
And an iron shark.
Final clue. Created by Bob Kane, he is Courageous Cat's faithful sidekick. Five, 4, 3.
Am I in this alone?
I think it's you and Barry.
It's me and you. And
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who
Matt.
is it? Oh, good, Matt. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got nothing.
nothing.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty
What?
Mouse. Yeah, I thought somebody said Mighty Mouse.
No, it's not Mighty Mouse.
Not
Oh,
Mighty
it is.
Mouse.
Yeah.
Minute Mouse. Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse.
I
Oh!
Oh,
never
minute.
fucking heard of
Fucker,
Minute
you
Mouse.
even talked about.
All right,
Minute
we're in the
Mouse?
last. This is the last one.
Last one.
Clue number 1
You and Evan are tied.
is in the Hall of Fame.
Did the
Evan,
Hall of
please.
Fame.
Drop.
Evan.
Please win.
Evan.
Mark McGuire.
Oh, Evan.
Oh no.
Anthony won, folks.
Clue number 2 can trace
Mark
their,
McGuire actually isn't in the Hall of Fame, just so you know.
Oh.
clue number 2 can trace their beginnings to Daddy Warbucks. Clue number 3 Their tomato sauce has been available since 2023. Sued for $10 million in 1999 for slander, paid $1,600 in damages for the lawsuit in 2001. Associated with Brain Damage, Superman, and Stan.
Matt. Marshall Mathers.
Marshall Mathers is correct.
There you go.
Eminem.
All right. I retired from the Alaboom. You all have a great time.
Thank you for making those, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony.
Don't thank him.
I appreciate your effort.
I do appreciate it. Just remember how much crap I got for mine, so it's evenly spread.
Don't thank him. Don't thank him.
Can't help it if you guys are uncultured.
No. Yes. No. That is a bunch of no. This you.
What? No. What are you talking about?
So wait, who's doing initials next week?
He's just singing a Bill
Evan
Withers
is.
song.
Me? Okay.
Evan, I thought it was a two.
No, Evan is. Evan technically won.
Son of a bitch.
Evan pulling off the technical win.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to say Mark McGuire at the end because I wanted him to actually not pull it off with the tie. Lance is upset because he didn't get any.
I got two.
One,
so
two?
I mean,
Yeah.
one or two. But I mean, no. I mean, whatever. You put effort in. I mean, I guess
No, it's all right.
That's something.
It's okay.
I guess.
All right.
I mean, your effort was minimal at
when
best.
you guys play initials next
You
week,
were
I
so
will just
worried about
walk
being
away.
funny. You
so I don't have to do
forgot
it
making
again.
it actually fun. So
I had fun.
yeah,
I
exactly.
enjoyed myself.
We have fun. We did the over under on if we were ever going to win.
I can't help it if you guys don't understand things.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
keep it
for
real
sure
simple. I'll
you
just
would've
make it
had-
like wrestlers and wrestlers and people who
Yes, because that's all I ever do. You
Well,
got me
that's all-
pegged.
but-
You got me pegged. You got it right.
Three people
got a
who
little
have never
Albano
been in my
clue in
You
there.
kitchen.
got it.
you.
You got it. You got it. No, you were right.
That's all
You're
I
right.
wanna do.
You did. That was
And then I'm
the
gonna
best
complain.
ever. That was the best ever
Oh.
group
And then I'm
that
going to
anybody's
complain
ever
the
done
whole
ever.
time. That's what I'm going to do.
We should. Those should be in the Hall of Fame. Those. Please send those to me so I can have them bronzed, and we can place them in a place of on Mount Olympus. So in years hence, miniature people who will play miniatures
Such a
and
bitter old
climb
man.
and be subject to the thunderbolts of Zeus
What a
and
bitter old
test
man you
themselves
are.
to claim the greatest set of clues and things for
That's
M&M.
enough. You know who you know what answer would have been fun is Mayday Malone.
See you, Scott.
See you guys.
Bye, Scott.
It was good fun.
Everybody, hope you're feeling better.
Scott
soon.
away.
Keep your chin up, Scott.
Sure.
Where's my Marilyn Monroe? Where's
That's
my
that's all I was thinking.
Where's my
Marilyn
Matthew
Monroe, too.
McConaughey? Where's my Michael Moore? You know,
Oh.
Yeah.
Woo.
Michael Manheim.
yeah, garbage.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
they were just tough night.
You are.
Mamma Mia.
You are for your attitude.
I was thinking
now.
that was
You are
myself,
garbage,
man.
sir.
Where's my Mad Max?
Yeah.
Oh, I
heard that's not
pick,
doing
I
too
didn't
well.
pick the things that Lance knows.
You went on your way to pick things nobody knew. That's why you had like 8 points. Garbage.
So, okay, from the chat room, Lance is mad you didn't do clues he knew the answers to.
Hold out.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Everybody can gang up on me. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
it
used
says
to
it
it.
right there. It says
I'm
Gamer
used
Girl.
to it.
Lance is mad you didn't choose clues. Yeah.
I can take it. It's fine.
Thanks for putting them together.
It's okay. I
It
won't do
was,
it. I won't do it anymore.
No,
Good
no.
breed burner.
No,
No,
no.
it's not.
Promises,
It's all right.
promises.
It's all right. I'm obviously not appreciated or wanted. So.
And it's
I
just
no.
move them
Don't
up
listen
about
to
a decade.
What did you say?
Don't listen to Lance.
Oh,
Yeah, when did you start?
Duh. Does anybody have a grievance or anything they wanna?
I have a
I
grievance. I do.
About
I
initials?
yeah,
spent
yeah.
a lot of time putting a trivia game together, and then my so-called friends.
You were
Wait, we
so
never
worried
said we
about
were
getting
friends.
it being funny, you forgot to make it fun.
It was fun.
For you.
It was fun and educational.
Yes, it was. It was educational. I heard of people I never heard of.
Whatever. It's
What,
fine.
Evan?
Minute Mouse.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever heard of Minute Mouse in their lifetime.
Danger Mouse.
Obviously, Anthony did.
Did you guys ever have Max the History Mouse?
No, I don't
What?
recall that one.
That might have been a Canadian cartoon. I don't know.
No idea. I'm unfamiliar.
Yeah, so am I. So am I.
Yeah, Canadian.
Canadian.
Made popular by the CBC.
CBC. Okay. How was it up when you were growing up there in Canada? Did they have like 3 channels like down here, or was it just 1 or 2?
We had like no, it was more than 1 or 2. We probably had like a half a dozen,
Okay.
but 2 of them were French.
Oh, okay. So you had 4. All right.
Well, we had like what? We had no, when I grew up, we had probably half a dozen English and then 3 or 4 French. So there was actually I was the remote control that had to walk over to the television and change the channel.
We all were.
And from 3 to 13, there were stuff on pretty much every channel.
Okay.
8 was CBC, 6 was the local CTV, 3 was global, 4 was the PBS, or TVO as we call it here, TV Ontario, and 5 was French, 10 was French, 9 was NBC.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a bunch.
Evan,
Yeah.
when you do initials next week, can you do all medical terms?
Every single one.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna love it.
Oh, love it.
Evan, I got some with the dexterity balls for my thumb.
Oh, do you?
I made the mistake. I thought I hit add to cart, but apparently I had to hit add to cart twice. So now I have it set at work instead of home.
So now you can do this, like David
Yeah.
Bowie.
I don't think so, Tim. Well, I gotta say, conversation has ground to a pretty much halt right now.
Because Lance was mean.
Yeah, big meanie. Always picking on little Anthony.
Anthony, what's I was actually thinking about this earlier. I know a guy from somewhere in the British Isles who goes by Anthony.
Okay.
And you say it Anthony. What's the origin of that pronunciation? Do you know? Instead of like Anthony,
I thought it was an East Coast.
It's a very East Coast thing.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Italian East Coast thing. Yeah.
Anthony. Okay.
Because Antonio is a little different, but they stood Anthony. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Or did it start over in the old country, Anthony? Do you know?
No, in Italy they don't say Anthony.
It's Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Antonio, probably.
Yeah.
Well, in Italy, it's so because it's a Latin-based language.
Yeah.
Like you can have 5 or 6 people with the same name
Pronounced it
in English, but they're not the same name in.
No.
Like, so my grandfather's name was Antonino, That's his legal name, Antonino, which basically just means little Anthony.
My
It's just
dad's
all it was Anthony.
My dad's middle name is Antoine, N-I-N at the end.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
French.
The French version, yeah, I was thinking that. Well, they're all basically the same, rooted from the same.
But like,
Latin.
if you ever meet someone from Italy and their name is Massino, their name is Thomas.
Right.
But if you also meet someone named Tommaso, they're Thomas.
Yeah.
No, it's just like the part of being junior is part of your name. It's not like instead of the end of your name. It's just part of your name.
Mm-hmm.
You speak Italian, Anthony?
I understand Italian. My family speaks a very distinct dialect, though, which got me in a lot of trouble in school because I asked my grandfather how to say things in Italian, and he'd tell me, and I'd put them down on my homework. And the teacher would go, "This isn't really Italian." I'm like, yes, it is. My grandfather was born there.
But they beat you with rulers?
What?
They beat you with rulers then, or
no? I went to public school.
Yeah, they don't do that at public school.
Well, I can remember
just the Catholic schools,
and I am old. I'll remind everybody, but I still remember that there were these two boys. God, I can't. Their last name was. It was like. It wasn't Anderson. It was something like Anderson though. It was like.
Andresen?
Man. Starts with an A. It was like Arthurson was their name, and they were twins, and they weren't allowed to be in the same class together in grade school. And but they come to class, and their father, who and I mean this and just matter of fact, not trying to make fun of anybody in any way, shape, or form. Their father would sober up for that one day. And he would bring those kids into the grade school. This is before you had orientation or any of those things where you got together and did any of those. You would bring your kids to school and you'd walk up to their first class. Or he would walk into the class and he would hand the teacher a paddle. And he would say in front of his son, and he'd do this for both of they weren't allowed to. He's like, you have, if my son ever is unruly or speaks out of turn or whatever, you have my permission to use this paddle on him as you see fit, and I will not have any issues with what you do. And that paddle would it was like, and I remember in the class it just hung on like it was above like the chalkboard. It just sat there, never came down. Never once did it ever come down and get used on whatever the one kid. But I just remember he would come in and he would just, you have my permission. He have this freaking big ass wooden paddle.
In grade school, my principal had a big paddle up on the wall behind him, and he would use it for intimidation. Pretty cool.
Started to terrorize them when we were young.
Exactly.
You're
lucky they don't let me do this anymore, you little,
That's actually the reason I never went to Catholic school. Was my mother had a bad experience with them.
Yeah.
Whacking them across the knuckles and shit.
Yeah. The class bully was a guy by the name of Mike Andel, who he was always the kid who just tough family, tough, I remember one of my friends said the last thing that kid because his family, his dad got a job out of town or something, and so they moved away. And he said the last thing Mike Andel did was before he left out was steal my bike. It's like, literally, like he said he was playing football in a field, and then he came in. He's like, "Where's my bike?" And they said, "I saw Mike Andel riding off with it." But I remember Mike Andel. He was like being ornery in a science class, and I still remember the day I actually saw a teacher fight with a student. And because Mike Andel was one of those people that he was in 7th grade and he was like 6 feet tall and had a mustache, just like
right.
And I still remember Mr. Tinquist, our earth science teacher, like went back because like Mike Andel started like shoving a kid around because like just whatever, who knows what, short fuse, whatever. And he went back there and grabbed him. And Mike Andel like grabbed him, and all of a sudden they were like this grown man and this kid rolling around on the floor wrestling, and like just like getting into a huge fight, and then I remember I mean I think like eventually like some of the other kids and like we kind of got up and we like kind of were like, what do we do? Because like the adult is wrestling with a kid, and we somehow like I remember like it got broken up, and Mr. Tinquist like said, you got it's like you're going to the principal's office. And he's like, I'm going home, and he just ran out the door, and like then ran out the front of the school, and just yeah, just I always wonder whatever happened to Mike Andel. Just I remember somebody said, "What do you think he's doing now?" Time. Somebody said, you just
possible,
very possible. He was very angry. It was a very
a lot of kids back then were.
Maybe because you made fun of his initials game that he was playing.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was all my fault. No, it was not.
Play off this Minnesota nice bullshit.
Yeah. I'm with Andy. I prefer the East Coast. At least we're open about our fucking grievances with people. Yeah.
No, he was an angry man.
Yeah, we're kids like that. I grew up with one. He actually went away for it. He was psychotic. Thought he was going to hurt himself or somebody else at one point.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just.
I was actually thinking about that the other day. Like, I grew up with a lot of people in trauma, like a Vietnamese refugee and Iraqi refugee. Like, a lot of trauma in their life. And I was wondering how they made out. I mean, the Vietnamese kid, I think, made it pretty good. Kim. I don't know about the Iraqi. That was a culture shock to me. They were Muslim. That was the first time I was introduced to a Muslim. With the face, had to have to cover her face and all that. She said her dad would beat her if she did and shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's you really want to screw somebody up, use religion.
But like I don't know. We just grew up there. I mean, it's all they know. This is all we know. You can't really compare it. Yeah. I don't agree with it. For some points, some points I do, but man is going to twist every religion they have throughout time. But that's why people come to America, for a better chance.
Except for Matt.
Yeah. We pushed his people out of America. Get up there.
Is that what happened?
About 250 years ago.
Is that what happened?
You didn't have to push that hard.
I'm messing with you. If my people were here, we might have been the same boat. A lot of Americans didn't want to fight that war. It was all the rich people. Yeah.
So I actually had a game I wanted to ask. I was going to ask Anthony about it, but we're fighting right now, so I guess I can't. Yeah.
Can't you kiss and make up, Lance? Just say, I'm sorry, I made fun of you.
No, I'm not. If anybody should apologize, it's the creator of that horrible initials game. But
all right, I'm going to say goodnight, guys.
See you, Matt.
Mom and Dad are fighting.
Just huddle in the corner, everyone.
No, Richard Garfield, you're familiar with the designer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Orange Cat, yes, go ahead.
Yes, he's made a game or two in his day.
Yeah. He's made as many games as Mary Martin has Broadway shows. Go ahead. Continue.
I don't think that's accurate, but
how would
She's
you know?
probably
You
more
uncultured son of a bitch.
Go ahead, proceed.
He has. I don't think he's ever had a game published by them, but he has a game on the P500 list on GMT.
Does he?
And it sounds really interesting.
What is it?
It is called Founders of Ravik. And I firstly, because I realized it was going to be like an alien type game, I was like, oh, is this like a game like Mule, which was one of the best freaking computer games of all time, way back in the day. But here he is. Founders of Ravik, 3 to 5 player economic game of speculation and competition on the newly settled world of Ravik. Each player controls a company just starting out on the planet that is attempting to amass the most wealth and craft the greatest legacy. Players deploy their partners to collect resources from their assets and complete projects and to further research, exploration, and building across the planet. So that just sounds like Mule right there. That alone.
Mm-hmm.
So the game of Founders of Ravik revolves around assets, which includes the districts of Ravik as well as their special assets that differ in each game. Companies compete to own these assets to take advantage of the resources and revenue they provide. Each game round begins by resolving a draw of event tiles. These tiles place new population, resources like flora and fauna research, and the mysterious unobtainium. Again, just like Christite was the old Mule game, this again sounds very, very much like Mule. While the promise of rich resources have drawn many to Ravik, the economic climate there is unique. Unlike other planets, Ravik's ruling council uses a radical approach to managing the many companies seeking profits. Every game round, each player must set the price at which they would be willing to sell each of their assets to another player. Players are then obliged to respect their own valuation, so the price must be chosen carefully. If you set it too low, someone else will take over your asset and make a profit. But at the end of the turn, you must pay taxes on the price you have set on every asset. So you don't want to set it too high because then you own it and then you got to pay taxes on it. I like that. That's cool. Once prices are set, the council distributes whatever taxes were collected in the previous turn. Some portion of those taxes will fund public projects, which are placed in districts for the welfare of the citizens, while the rest is distributed by players. Rights to the resources and profits from a district or special asset are always for sale. Any company can buy them by paying the price set by the current owner, and every asset on Ravik has a price. Once you purchase an asset, you must immediately set the price at the beginning of the turn. You can set it to any amount that is higher than what you paid, but the council will tax based on what you claim your assets are worth, and those taxes are distributed as incentives in a public-private partnership, so the tax money can end up benefiting your competition. Whereas the most wealth, assets, and projects wins, and it's based on the economic theories of Nobel Prize-winning economist William Vickrey, as well as the writings of Eric Posher and Glenn Whale. So ultimately, it has absolutely nothing to do with Mule, but there is a lot of it that sounds very interesting to me. And I've P500 maybe 4 things ever. But I might end up P500 in this. It sounds like one of those fantastic games that I will never get to a table because I can't get enough people interested in actually playing it.
Yes, I have many of those.
But I find this to be absolutely fascinating as far as the game goes. It's currently at 294 orders in the P500. And if you're unfamiliar with P500, if you're one of the people that gets in on the P500 price, you pay a lesser amount, and basically you say, "I'm willing to buy this." You don't pay for it right then. When it charges, they charge. I mean, usually the price to ship it to you if you live in the US, basically they I mean, Anthony can correct me if I'm wrong here, but usually how these things work is that like this one is going to cost $87 to make if you buy it at a normal price. but it's $60 on the P500.
It costs you $87.
It'll cost you 87. The shipping is $27.
Yeah.
Shipping ends up being free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It basically is how it works.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I beat 500 a couple games. I don't have one of them.
the
Well,
only
the
it's
thing-
on
the
it's
thing
on the
about the
lower end of the
P500 is-
medium. It's on the lower end of the medium complexity. So
Yeah.
I'm interested. I
But there are things that have been on P500 for like
Forever.
Mr. President game we've been talking about a few times.
Yeah.
That was P500 so friggin' long.
Yeah. Decades.
But yeah, it's one of those things that it's constantly there. Like you can go check, see what's like one day we can actually go on the website. I'm not doing it now and just see like what's been on P500 for the longest.
So the one thing on there is that they actually have this game called you can still P500 right now. It's Away Team, The Voyages of Pandora, and it is a solo game. And I hate when I read stuff like this because I'm like, this sounds amazing. But then I realize it's a solo game. I'm never gonna play it. Like the only solo games I'll play are like I own most of the Hunter stuff, the submarine ones.
Mm-hmm, I have those.
I know the rules and I can sit down and play it and I don't have to fumble through it all.
Right.
But I'm like, but this Away thing looks amazing. But I'm also just like,
Those games are great when you have a space. Just set them up and then leave them there.
Yeah.
I got. Have you seen those people that basically make put them on metal sheets?
Yep. You stick them on the wall.
Hang them on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you buy those sheets of magnets, and then you put them on the back of every single one of the counters.
Yep.
That's pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet setup.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to do that. I don't have enough of them.
Yeah, actually, that's the only way it works is if you have a dedicated space to leave it there.
Yeah.
Well,
so
and that's the thing. And if you own cats, you can't leave it out.
Well, yeah, but like I say, I like don't have a regular game group that comes to the house or anything, so I'll like set up like Nemo's War on the table, play for a little while, and then like, oh, I'm gonna do something else. All right, cover it up and go. And then go back to it then. After. Like I prefer games that are actually solo games than games you can play solo. So like I love the Coin Series games and I love like Labyrinth and I like 1989 and you can play those solo. They're just a pain in the ass to play solo.
Yeah, they are.
Because it's like, okay, what's the situation? All right. If so-and-so has this many units on the board and this thing is not populated, then go here. There's this, and a lot of times you go through the entire thing and like nothing happens. Like, okay, I'm just no. So like those things, I'll play them on like Steam. But like stuff that's pure solo, that's my jam.
So that is one of the things I was just typing in the chat. The Mule board game that they came out with wasn't very good. It was too simple. It was but Planet Steam, on the other hand, was amazing. Especially
never heard of it.
You never heard of
Planet Steam.
I see
with the A. Okay.
No, Planet Steam, especially if you can get a hold of the original Ludo Ardeverla coffin box version of it with the really big chunky bits. Ugh, it was so good.
Never played either.
I mean, the one that Fantasy Flight put out that was just the small box. I mean, you can pick those. You can find those for sale for like $10 now. And it's ostensibly the same game. I mean, but if you want the one with the big giant chunky bits, you got to find the old school one. But yeah, there you go. Planet Steam. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually played it. Oh no, Nemo was more I did. Other than that, I think that's the only solo game I've ever played.
I love seeing games in the geek marketplace that were put up there 10 years ago, and they're still listed. You're just kind of like,
you never know.
Yeah. I listed my game for $110 12 years ago. It's going to sell. I know it.
Never know.
It's going to happen.
There are a couple of copies of the big. Ooh, there's a sealed copy of Planet Steam, the big one.
Yeah. Here's what I see. There was listed
84
10 years ago. It's $40.
$84.99.
Ooh.
But $44.20 shipping.
420.
$44.
Here's one listed 10 years ago. Listed on March 29th, 2014. Played once. This is the coffin box edition with wooden components. Includes organizer. $40.
Won't be worth something one day. You never know.
Mine's in a storage unit.
That's not right.
That's not right.
I was just looking on Noble Knight for something.
Ugh.
And it
Noble
says
Knight. We know exactly what everything's worth.
It says $42 for a used copy, but it says it's Fantasy Flight. So, but it's the picture of the coffin box.
Okay.
No, there you
That's
go.
not right.
Maybe they got it wrong.
Well, which way do they get it wrong? The publisher.
Well, you got to send them an email. You know, you got to ask, and then they're going to realize what they have, and then they're going to change it. And they'll be mad, and you'll be mad. You'll be all like, "Dang it!"
Nobody will be happy.
Nobody will be happy. Just like real life, nobody will be happy.
I'm happy most of the time.
Well, it's because
coffin box
constantly.
Huh?
What?
I forgot all
They help.
famous coffin
Yeah.
box games.
What'd you say, buddy?
I said all the famous coffin box games that came out at the same time.
Yeah. I still have one.
I'm pretty sure I had all of them.
I still have StarCraft. I still have.
I had StarCraft and I sold it with the Brood War expansion for a lot of money.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got a complete set, including that BlizzCon promo, the planet, and I'll hold on to that forever. I think. I've got that one still. I've got
Descent.
No, I finally got rid of my old Descent. I had it at a convention, not a convention. I had it at a flea market, and somebody made me. I literally had everything for the original Descent.
Tides of Iron.
I still have Tides of Iron. I should just get rid of that because I'll never play it. But I remember, what did they pay me? They paid me many dollars for all of it, and I was kind of sad to see it go, but I was also like, whatever, see you later. And I still have World of Warcraft with the expansion, with both the expansions.
Okay, that one I never had. So
yeah, World of Warcraft, and that is my favorite story of World of Warcraft because I played it once. And it wasn't even my copy. And then I went and got a copy. But my favorite story for World of Warcraft is I was at Origins. And this is like 6 or 7 years ago. And I forget who I was around. I forget the person, but there was this guy, and he walked over to this guy and he handed him $100 bill. And this guy handed this friend of mine, God, who was that now? Might have been Joel Eddy. But anyway, handed him an in-shrink copy of 18OE. You know, like from when they did the Kickstarter for Orient Express 18OE.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, holy crap. I was like, it's in the wild. And it was the designer. He was the designer of 18OE. And I was just like, holy, you know, and I was just like, that's amazing. You know, it's like I've always, I mean, I heard about it, you know, and I had played a little bit of 18XX at that point in my life. And then I was like, and I was like, how did you know? And he said, I just had a conversation with him, and he said he had some in the trunk of his car. And so I said, oh, I was like, you know, I got $100. I was like, can I get a copy of it? And the guy said, I said, do you have any more? And he's like, yeah, I got a couple more in the trunk of my car. And I was like, well, I'd like to buy one. He's like, $100. And I was like, cool. And I was like, should we come back? Like, should I come back tomorrow, or when do you want to meet up? And he said, well, I just finished up my turn. He was playing World of Warcraft. He's like, I just finished up my turn, and there was like, he was playing a 4-player game. It'll be 45 minutes before I can go, so I'll go get it right now. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, this game takes forever. And it was like literally the next guy was doing his turn, and it was like, because each turn was going to take like between 15 and 20 minutes for each other person. And he went and he got it, and sure enough, I was standing there. The guy was back within 10 minutes, and the next guy still hadn't completed his turn, and he was just sitting there, and he was just like,
I got the full list because I couldn't remember there's other ones. Dust Tactics.
Oh, yeah.
I never owned that one.
That's a good game. I never played it after the Fantasy Flight stuff. I still have all my stuff. Rune Wars.
I had it, got rid of it.
I had it, got rid of it.
With the Banners of War.
So did I. Yeah.
Horus Heresy.
Never played
Had it, got rid of it.
That's what me too. And then the other one, StarCraft, Tide of Iron, World of Warcraft, Descent, and Twilight Imperium 3.
Oh, yeah.
And Planet Steam, baby.
Planet
Well,
Steam.
that's the Fantasy Flight coffin box with those. And then the Planet Steam. So apparently the first ones, the coffin box ones, FFG imported those in here, and then so they were distributing the.
I got mine through Boulder Games, is where I got mine.
Yeah.
And because I asked him to order one, he ordered one directly from Germany for me.
And then there's two others. There's one other honorable mention for coffin box, even though technically it isn't. Battles of Napoleon, the Eagle and the Lion.
I believe it.
Not a coffin box shape, but pretty damn big.
18OE looks like there's a new one for $500 for sale on.
For which one?
For my 18OE, what I still own and is still in shrink.
There you go. There's a quick $500, Lynch.
I thought about. I almost like splurged and dropped $150 on a board game. And I was like, no, you're being stupid. Don't get it.
Yes.
Because then I read about basically
sucks.
I read like a few things about it, and just like kind of like took me back from the brink, right? I was just like, I should get it, because it looks amazing, and I need to own it, and I was just like, I had that moment. And then I looked online and I saw I could find one, $140 shipped. And I was like, I should get it. War Room. The Larry Harris.
No, you'll never play that.
Axis and Allies.
That's a 12-hour minimum.
But it looks so cool. It looks so amazing.
The big round board and
the big round board with oh man.
And how many people was that? 8? I can't remember now.
Here's the funny story about War Room.
2 to 6.
I got to play it like before, like a year or so before they went to Kickstarter. You knew the band before they were cool. Before they went to Kickstarter, and I saw it, and I was like, "Holy crap! Look at this thing!" And I was like, I tried it. I really liked it, and I was like, I'm never gonna play this.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. It's cool. It's great. It's great. Like
that looks like a coffin box.
Yes. It's like one of those things when you sit there, you expect like everyone sitting around, like cigar smoke in the air, moving pieces around with little pushers.
Yeah.
It looks super cool.
Yes. Oh no, you never get to the table.
No.
I'm at that point with the whole access.
Cool, and you're never going to play it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have to schedule it.
Yeah.
Everyone has to know how to play it ahead of time.
Well, and then it's like me and Kingdom Death Monster. Like that's just remained in shrink now forever. It's like, when am I going to play that? Never. I should find somebody to pay me the whatever $300 or $400 for it and move on with my life. And but War Room just looks so cool, and that's what I get stuck on. Just how cool it looks.
I was looking at the GI Joe compendium that's on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. I said, I really don't need that 4th volume though. Because I could care less about GI Joe and Transformers and
yeah. You gotta mix their shit.
But it's $300 for it. 120 if you only want the digital one. I was like, yeah, no, it's all right.
Everybody's dumb.
What's up with all the GI Joe IP lately? They made an Access Now GI Joe that just came out. You were saying the card game.
Well, Renegades had the licensing for it for a while.
Oh, it is all Renegade, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They got the RPG. They've got 2 different board games. And now the Access Now Allies.
It's a shame that they go over my brother.
Well, people who own it need money, so you might as well keep relevant by get money from the licensing.
Yeah. I actually don't overkill it like they tend to do with these IPs. Yeah. Beat it to death.
All the IPs, it's where you go and look to see how diluted IPs are.
Yeah.
Because there's do you have Ollie's by you?
We do. I just heard of it though. Like last year or
something. Go into Ollie's and go in the toy aisle. You'll find really lame licensed stuff.
And a lot of Disney shit because they just overproduce.
Well, and the thing is about it is that for 80% of the licensed stuff that you find in the toy aisle, it's a very small portion of what they made. So, for example, they have a lot of Star Wars stuff, like the regular Black Series and stuff. You can find that stuff there. And there's a lot of Rays in there. There are no Kylo Rens to be found, but it's all the stuff that they made X number of and everything else, and the stores return them because they're like, yeah, we sold out of everything else, and I have 47 of these left. Take it back. But they have other stuff there where you can get everything, but they have stuff there that's so friggin' cheap, like 12-inch Marvel action figures. They're licensed, they're not written off, but there's no articulation in the arms and legs. The arms go up like this, the arms go down like this. But they got tons of that stuff. But they also have this GI Joe fake Lego stuff there that's just complete garbage, and they have all of it there. Oh, well, excuse me.
We'll try.
Tired from I don't know what.
Tired from all the work I did on initials.
I bet you are.
Brain burn.
It is. It's difficult.
Hey, Andy, how far away from Boston do I have to get before it gets reasonable to the lodge?
What?
How far away from Boston do I have to get before it's reasonable to lodge?
Before it's reasonable to lodge?
Yeah, like a decent hotel that doesn't cost $700 a night. Yeah.
If you're not staying in downtown Boston, you're fine.
Okay. Me and Joe are thinking about it.
Literally, if you were downtown Boston's a freaking joke if you're from New York.
Yeah.
because it doesn't feel like a downtown. But yeah, no, Boston is not that. I mean, it's not going to cost you any cheaper to stay, 15 minutes out of the city as opposed to 25 minutes out of the city.
Right.
You going there for something particular?
We just never. She wants to go up to Salem, and we just never been there. We were talking about it. To do the historical shit like that. She wants to try some restaurant or something.
Yeah, you gonna go to Eldridge?
We might. Never mind. But yeah, we were just talking about our vacation next year, and mentioned some places. And next year, I'm sure there'll be some shit because it'll be the 250th anniversary of the Tea Party and all that, or the Battle of Concord, one of them.
Yeah, they're anywhere where it's that kind of trendy stuff. Like I'm trying to think of where you should stay. Hold on. I'm looking at the map. All right, you should look for in Woburn.
Woburn, okay.
That'll put you like triangulate between
the two or three.
In Boston. You get far enough away from the water where you don't get the. And like you're near, like you can go to the where the Battle of Lexington was. That's like within the same distance from there.
It's just one of them, like I've been to Maine and Connecticut and all that. I just never Boston, Massachusetts itself. I never really spent much time. Oh,
Evan, what's new with you? Playing a lot of Scrabble. That Scrabble board game just sits there, never moves.
That thing? Nah, that just stays right there, man.
It's supporting the stuff on top of it.
You know what we've been playing a lot of lately is sea salt.
No, I don't. That's why I asked.
Sea salt and paper. Because it's simple enough for my daughter to play, but interesting enough for my wife and I to play.
A duet of pleasures.
Yeah.
How old is your daughter now, Evan?
She's like 4.5.
4.5. Same age as my niece.
Yeah.
I think.
So she doesn't always make like the most shrewd of choices. But she like knows what's going on and makes informed decisions and draws her cards and then puts one down. And yeah, it works. So that's kind of fun. I played 5 games with her yesterday.
5.
You must really like her.
Yeah.
No, she likes it. She said, "Let's play again."
The Bruno Cathala joint.
Yeah.
Please like this game. It's good times.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry. You gotta go check They're one of my dogs being weird.
You do. Yeah, I haven't played anything but Maximum Apocalypse. I'm almost finished the game. I got one more game, the campaign.
I don't think my daughter could do that one.
Nah, another year or two.
Yeah.
That's why actually one of the reasons I like it. It's not overly complex like I find a lot of games are. They're just trying to be clever a lot of times. This is just simple.
Bonanza.
I'm not good at that.
We modify it a little bit. But she plays Bonanza and collects her beans and sticks it in.
Yeah, that's one that I only played it once, but it was at BGG Spring, so I was playing with gamer games like Eric Lang and Nikki. And...
Yeah.
So I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
and Lincoln.
We took out the bidding, and we modified it.
Lincoln kept saying rarity of a card, so I thought he meant the lower number, but he meant the higher number.
Yeah.
So it's like I was all messed up.
Yeah. I think the number on top is how many are in the deck.
Is that what it? Yeah,
I think so.
I don't remember it. But yeah, it's one I never got. Actually, my sister's coming down this week, and I should pick out a game.
Nice. She a gamer or not really?
Before she got pregnant, she was. You know, like I said, the kid's 4.5. She doesn't have much time. She works too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we haven't seen each other. Jen's off on Thursdays only, so it's a little tough to schedule much. And then she has to go in at 3 or 4 a.m. every other weekend.
Oof.
It's yeah, her job sucks. The more I hear about it.
Yeah, sounds like
It's they're unions, so they just let them get away with so much shit.
Yeah.
And they're having such a hard time hiring people.
Really?
She's like, we got ex-cons working for us. I was like, no, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, she's like, a lot of them. I was like, all right, that's yeah,
too many,
yeah. Because when I was in the construction, I hired ex-cons. Give them a second chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them worked out, some of them didn't. Yeah, but yeah, it should be the first time. Well, we did the llama thing a couple weeks ago, but that was a quick thing.
Yeah. What do you mean the llama thing?
I adopted a llama or an alpaca.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, my niece, I think it's my niece. It's in her name, I think, so she could visit her with her friend or whatever.
Wait, you adopted it as you send them money?
Yeah, I gave them a couple $100. They could go see them six times a year, or no, whenever they went with 6 friends, and then we get 2 spools or bales. I forget what they call it. The wool. You know. She fed them, spent some time, about an hour with the llamas or
A couple
alpacas.
$100, a little bit more. You could have bought one.
Nah, llamas are expensive. I actually didn't, because I was asking, like, I was like, we went up to Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, and I was like, are these a big thing here? Like, what did they do? They're like, it's the wool. Okay.
That's by how much the llama is.
Depends on the breed and all that. I learned that there's different, like dogs. There's the higher breeds. There's purebreds and all that. I know you could buy a deer for about 1,500.
According to this place, llamas run between $3,500 and $12,000.
There you go. But you got to have 3 of them. This is what I learned. They're pack animals. They don't do well with just 2. They need at least 3. Because I was thinking about, getting a couple to eat all the grass out here, but steering towards goat if I can get past the township. I'm sick of cutting the lawn already.
Sick of cutting the lawn already.
Yeah, it's time. This was normally for Christmas we get together and throw axes, but my niece is always an issue because she's so young. Yeah, so we did something. That maybe next year we'll go to the aquarium over there in Camden, pet the penguins or something.
I had to argue with my my mother will sometimes.
And your mother whooped your ass in that argument.
No, my mother will sometimes. She hires a lawn care person or whatever for both her lake cabin and also the thing. But it's raining so much here lately.
Yeah.
That he's just like, oh, sorry, I know we promised that we would like come anytime it's like over a certain length or whatever. They're like, we've got so many lawns to mow now that we don't have time to do them all. So like we're trying to tell her. I was just like, not our problem, bud. I was like, just last time I checked the contract wasn't, I mean, like it's the same guy who did the snow removal, and I was just kind of like, you had to remove snow 3 times all winter. We got like almost no snow. So you're gonna take the good with the bad here, bud. It's like you got paid a ton of cash to do nothing over the winter. So now you're just gonna have to work a little harder. When it comes to doing this. You didn't come to the door and say, "I realize we didn't really have to work that hard for you, ma'am," and so we're just gonna go ahead and um yeah, just
customer service is real shitty these days. In general. We were talking about the trash company. They switched. I didn't even know. They didn't pick up the trash today. What's going on? She said it was a holiday, but usually they would call. They never call. Little things, Lance. So what's your mother doing? Sticking with this guy or getting a new company?
no, he's gonna do it.
First, the cleaning company, and now the lawnmower. What's next?
Damn bastards.
Damn bastards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're kind of winding down. We don't have anything too exciting going on, so I do apologize. I mean, sometimes this happens when we don't have
Life.
good initials. So,
Oh. At any rate, Andy.
Yeah, I agree, Andy. It isn't right. Thank you, Barry, for backing me up on this one.
And you'll never do initials again.
No.
You can birdie now, you
We're just having some fun, just busting balls as you are. But
Evan, no pressure on you for next week. Whatever you do,
pressure.
I'm sure it'll be enjoyable.
Okay,
I just got one request that they're actually 2 words, not 3.
All right, I'll do 2 words this time, just for you.
Yeah.
Just for you. I'm working my way through them right now. See how it does.
And make sure that Lance knows all the answers.
It's key.
Yeah.
Everybody's funny. Everybody's funny. All right, everyone. Well, have a good night. Be good. Be kind. Be decent. Hopefully, something really annoying will happen to you in the drive-through, and I'll have a good.
Oh, Lance! I just realized something.
Oh, what's the joke?
We're WW.
Oh,
That's what the problem was.
That's what the problem was. I got it. All right.